For once, I checked to see if my mic gain had exploded before I started recording, and it didn't. It's only when I don't check that it happens. Just jump right into this. It's all redundant, I've already done this on a different build. All repetition.
Well, well, very nice. Everyone is shocked by the surprise, right? Kisaragi-kun is also a freshman hosting academy, the same as you. But, due to some circumstances, he joined late, so let it go.
Yamato-kun? Or... I forgot in the Korean whether it's ni or kun. So... I actually haven't learned what kun is. I noticed a pattern. It tends to be used as a title for young men, or an honor for young men, it seems. But I never actually learned that in any sort of formal capacity, so I don't know what kun is exactly. Si is the honorific you use in Korean. It's kind of like son. I don't know what ni is. Oh, whether or not this is even correct, because there's a lot of mistakes that happen in the Zephirum build. Yamato? Mikako-chan, do you know him? Hey, Mikako-chan, why'd you turn so blue? Who are you? Mikaru? I'm asking who he is, the guy called a transfer student. A transfer student that no one expected. A new character appeared in this place that started with only 15 people, including myself. That alone was enough to confuse our heads. A character named Yamato Kisaragi looking at us with a quiet smile. Mikaru had a fierce stare at him, and waiting to open his mouth. And finally, when it did, that is, apparently. Mato to your heart. Everyone's idol it's Yamato Kisaragi. Was that okay? Nah, too ordinary. It seems like I was a little bit bored there. What? What are you saying? Are you crazy? This is a joke. Thanks to you, I just made an embarrassing face. Good lord, I'll throw up. I'm so sorry. Huh? I'm sorry. God, don't let me die. I have sinned, but just forgive me from dying. The first words that came out of Kisaragi's mouth were a hilarious joke that only seemed awkward by anyone. But soon we realized that his condition was somewhat weird.
Hey you, I've already bullied you for how long? I told you to get along with them.
Kisaragi... Zephirum, you mixed up the pronouns so badly there. I was pretty sure with you've bullied him for too long. Kisaragi-kun is a child with a soft heart, even though he seems like that.
Well, excluding that Kisaragi-kun, there's a little bit of an abnormality on his own brain.
On his own brain.
It should be said that their mind is a little off the shelf. It's not normal to be like that after all.
I am called Mato. Yo-yo, are you worried about me? I don't see anything bad here. There's something wrong with his brain? That doesn't matter. I don't care if this kid is a genius or a lunatic. Now the important thing is the existence of this being. We know there have been 15 freshmen hosting the academy this year. We haven't heard anything like the super high school level inventor. And it's not just that. It's a transfer student who suddenly appeared in the environment of this very hosting academy, which was blocked and sealed off from the outside. Oops. Meanwhile, Mikaru was speaking her complaints about how things were too rapid to get her to understand. Mikaru's words were cut off by her. Zephirum, did you think that you should, It's like worse than Google Translate. Yamato-ni? Kuokawa? Wa? That reaction, you know him too. What's the difference here? Mikako Kurokawa. Kurokawa? Eh? It was in a single moment. Kurokawa's tears began to blend in bright blood. It began to ooze out of her eyes, nose, and ears like a fountain. Mikako-chan. Kurokawa.
Yeah, this is more than I expected.
What do you mean? It's as if you knew that that if you showed Yamato Kisaragi in front of us, Mikako Kurokawa would pass out.
Well now, don't you all want to know?
What do I do? What can I do? The blood doesn't stop. Monokuma, what are you doing? Your role should be to cure a student when they're injured in an accident. Like you did with Kinjo.
Why should I? What? This isn't exactly an unfortunate accident. She'd rather just die like this. It's like, oops, she's done too many emotional expressions. How are you supposed to take care of that in the first place, huh? Well, I don't know, so I'll leave it to you.
What the heck?
Well, either way, Kisaragi-kun, come this way.
Yes, teacher.
Here, it's Kisaragi-kun's e-handbook. Be careful not to lose it.
Thank you. I'll do it. I'll cherish this.
I've explained to you roughly everything about living here, remember? And try to get along with your friends. Okay. You guys get along with Kisaragi-kun. Kisaragi-kun's information has been added to your e-handbooks. So if you're curious, you can look at it.
Or should be student handbooks.
Monokuma, wait a...
Monokuma's voice infects everyone's voice. Damn it, my friend is bleeding and she's collapsed in front of my eyes. Even with that pretense of wanting someone to die, this Monokuma, I can never forgive someone like that. What should we do? What should I... Mikako-chan, please wake up. Even if you ask me. You guys, stop blanking. Hurry up and support the other side. Mikaru? You, the transfer student. I'm so full of things that I want to say, but right now the first thing is to save Mikako Kurokawa, because I have to hear a lot from this woman. It'll be difficult if she dies now. Yeah, let's move to the infirmary first. It's on the first floor, so the location is close. We decide to pick up the unconscious Kurokawa and take her to the infirmary. In the meantime, the revelation of Kisaragi, the transfer student who doesn't even blink, even though a person is bleeding and collapsed, seems like a creepy person. What happened to the text box? I don't think the original build had that text box issue.
Danganronpa.
After taking Kurokawa, who lost consciousness over the massive bleeding, we went to the infirmary together for the first aid. Then we brought her to her private room, and then we immediately gathered at Mikaru's room. The sudden transfer student and Kurokawa losing consciousness. Less than a day has passed since we decided to continue. Satsuki's will and defeat the mastermind. We were so confused by the rapid change of situation. Mikako-chan, I'm sure she'll be okay. Even Kurokawa was knocked down, and Kinjo isn't showing any reaction. The four of us are the only ones in this wide school. It feels too unreal. 5. They're not in this room, but there's a guy running around outside. Kisaragi, you mean? Who is he? That person named Yamato Kisaragi. The student handbook really was updated. Well, if you think about it, it's simple. They'd be the mastermind. The mastermind? But didn't Mikaru think that Kurokawa was the mastermind? I didn't know things were going to turn out like this, but that doesn't mean Mikako Kurokawa is also free from guilt. You saw it too, right? As soon as she saw the transfer student, she became anxious and shed tears. That's true. As soon as she saw him, she mentioned Yamato-ni. The most primary candidate is Yamato Kisaragi. At the same time, I can't stop being suspicious of Mikako Kurokawa, because we can't reach the conclusions that there is only one can't reach the conclusion that there's only one mastermind. What, you mean it can't be only one mastermind? No, it could. The only thing I admire from you is your ignorance. Rather, don't you think that the possibility of the mastermind's revenge was because of the character named Yamato Kisaragi appeared? Huh? That means, are you saying the mastermind that it's mixed in our group and the one behind it is hiding that controls everything? And not right. Maeda is useful indeed. Think about it. There's no creature called Monokuma in the planet. That means someone is controlling it. Wouldn't that explain that Mikako Kurokawa, who was with us, wasn't the one controlling it? Yeah, but didn't Kisaragi and Monokuma move all at the same time in the gym a little while ago? I'm not sure about that yet, but maybe they did something without our knowledge. It may have been a reserved operation, or because of the distance we did not see it. Even so, it means that he's not a trustworthy person. What is certain is that he's been on the sidelines since we got involved in this incident. Yeah, they don't have anything to do with the mastermind. They can't come from outside the school either. Still, wouldn't it be better to talk directly with Kisaragi-kun than to be suspicious? We don't know what kind of person he is yet. Mikako-chan is the same. When she wakes up, let's talk calmly. I hate being suspicious like this. I don't suppose you guys think that person named Kisaragi Yamato is just a mysterious figure that just popped up suddenly, do you? What are you talking about? Oh, wait. Do you have any information about Kisaragi-kun, Rei-chan? Maeda, please, for the love of God, help me. I don't think I can handle these fools by myself. Hahaha. Akane Teruya, you saw it when we reported about the third floor, right? The Hope Speak Academy graduation album. Graduation album? Kisaragi Hanzo was the name of the owner of the graduation album. It's too perfect to be a coincidence, isn't it? Somehow when I heard the name Kisaragi, I recalled where it was, that album. Oh. I recall where it was, that album. I remember now. I'm more curious as to how you can forget about such an important information. Not only that, you guys, did you see the mark in the ballroom's arsenal? Mark? You mean that mark with the two moons overlapping in blue? Yes, but I already heard it before, but that mark is the crest of the Kisaragi Foundation. It's not a widely known company to the general public, but it's a giant company in the shadows with a broad reach of high-tech science sector. Yes, I know that doesn't make sense. Kisaragi Foundation. Kisaragi. I remember. When I was younger, my father signed to sell robot vacuum cleaners. The source was from the Kisaragi Foundation. Yeah, there's that way that people may know, although it is a company with a lot of secrets. As to whether it was controlling the mass media or not, it is unknown. Then the Kisaragi-kun is from that big corporation family? Or it should be corporate family. If that's the case, it wouldn't be surprising, since the graduation album of Hanzo Kisaragi was discovered, and the arsenal has a mark of the foundation. But just looking at this, doesn't it seem that there is some kind of relationship between the mastermind and the Kisaragi Foundation, which you are facing right now? That's right, and it turns out that there was one more thing, Mikaru. There's the clue related to the Kisaragi Foundation. Is it really? Which one? At that time, I couldn't say anything, but I found a picture of a person who looked like Yamato Kisaragi in the school's office while investigating the fourth floor. Yeah, that photo I found with Kinjo. As I had room to organize the situation, I began to think of it. The person in the picture that resembled Hanzo Kisaragi in the graduation album was Yamato Kisaragi, whom I met in person a while ago. Unfortunately, Kinjo has that picture right now. That's what Maeda-kun had been talking about with Kinjo-kun in the school office for a long time? Why didn't she tell us right then? I think it was a little confused back then. I was a little confused back then. Well, things things were happening, and Kijo himself told me to stay quiet and spoke some nonsense. Some nonsense? You've come to reveal it now, but Kinjo is also suspicious of Kurokawa. Kinjo hasn't been seen Kisaragi yet, so I wonder if he'll keep thinking that way. Oh, well, he's that kind of guy. But right now he has become a useless partner. Then there are 3 clues related to the Kisaragi in the Large Academy? Yes. Now, do you guys know the reason why I'm suspicious of Kisaragi Yamato? Mikako Kurokawa, who overreacts to Kisaragi, was suspicious for the same reason. But I wish we could talk to him. You're tenacious. Well, do whatever you want. As I see it now, he's a guy with a broken head, so there's high probabilities there's nothing to talk about. What? Hikaru, where are you going? There's still a lot to organize with you guys. I have to move. It's about time that guy notices us.
What are you all doing here?
Monokuma? What? I don't want to see your face. Can you leave now?
No, but I was looking for you one by one because I couldn't see you anywhere. I looked around the school. Wait, but what's this? There was obviously nobody in this room on the surveillance camera, right? No way, you guys. You haven't done anything to the surveillance camera, have you?
What are you saying now? It must have broken down. Are you trying to cover up your self-management mistakes with us? You really are a rotten piece of trash.
Breaking my heart with this sudden profanity.
I guess it was not supposed to be trash.
Well, anyway, Miss Mikaru makes sense. The facilities are old, so it's whatever.
The facilities are old? What does that mean? The facilities of Hope's Peak Academy shouldn't be that old, right?
What was it? Oh yeah, the switch room in the power room was also a little bad because the lights out, right? I guess that's what I mean. I don't know, I don't freaking know. I got worked up about the camera, and I came here because I have something to tell you. Well, I think you already know if I don't say it, but the 5th floor of the school area is now open. So it's okay to research as much as you want.
Do what you like. The 4th floor is mostly locked classrooms anyways.
That's the 4th floor. If you compare it to the human body, it's a bit sensitive. Shall I say, it's the shameful part of it?
What? Don't make strange comments.
Your face is blushing. Well, rest assured, the 5th floor is wide open. But unlike so far, you'll need to be a little more prepared. It's also the top floor. You guys seem knocked down, so I thought it would be best for the last-minute atmosphere.
What?
Are you prepared to reach the truth? Then go ahead. Think of this as a service for seeing you guys so motivated. Oh, I'll have you go and see the status of the camera. Bye.
What? We'll need to be prepared? He's probably just scaring us for nothing. Anyway, did you see it? So far, I was alone, and I didn't have much doubts because there were far more people back then. If 4 or 5 people suddenly disappear while the number of people is reduced as they are now, the likelihood of being caught will increase each time. We can't talk for a long time in my room because there's 1 or 2 limits that can let this slide on a basis like I just did. So what should we do? If it wasn't for the jamming in Mikaru's room, it would all go into the ears of the mastermind. For now, let's talk briefly only when there is something we really need to say. I'll call you when I need you. So you guys act like you normally do. As usual? You're talking about eating in the morning together and not leaving at the rooms at night, etc. Oh right, you're doing that too. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's just act together. And said I won't lock the door to my room and keep it open, so make sure you come in and out of my room from time to time. Suspicion will decrease the less time we are together. Or the more time or whatever. What was that for? What's with that stupid reaction? Do you hate it? No, it's not like that, but it's a first. For someone like Mikaru to suggest that. I knew Rei-chan is a good girl, even though she seemed not to care about us for us before. She really helped us a lot.
Stop annoying me. I told you not to be mistaken, because you and I aren't friends. This is just cooperation. Don't try and cross the line with useless remarks. Cooperation means you can be a friend. Don't be so cold, Ray-chan. Shut it! I'll get rid of the jamming soon, so come out and go to the 5th floor to investigate. Mikaru? Ray-chan, did I make you upset? She's just shy, right? I mean, even if she says those things, saying that she will always keep her door open means that she trusts us that much. Yeah, we're all ready to join forces and smack the mastermind right now. Let's follow Mikaru to the 5th floor and begin our investigation. 20 minutes in, before we can get to the new floor. Okay. We're still riddled with mysteries, and there's a long way to go. I could feel that our hearts were united in this despair. Kinjo, Kurukawa, Kisaragi, Yamato. The confusion was still the same, but we were filled with hope more than ever. I decided to go with everyone to investigate the 5th floor. Okay. Looks like everyone went to the 5th floor. I'll have to go investigate as well. Oh. Scripted. Ah. The person standing on the way to the school entrance was Yamato Kisaragi, the mysterious figure who appeared a while ago. Oh, hello there. You are Kisaragi? Nice to meet you. You haven't said anything since we've met here. I'm Yuki Maeda. Are you there, Kisaragi? Are you angry? I didn't mean to. What? Tyra's statement about having conversation certainly made sense, but I couldn't establish proper communication, which is likely due to his brain state. No, he seemed to be angry with me more than anything else. There's a more, Zephirum. You need to put a more in the sentence somewhere. At least when I saw him at the gym, he was Essie. But I think he can speak, but why do you just stare at me and stutter? I don't know. Let's think about Kisaragi's issue later and start with the investigation on the 5th floor, because it's a new place, we might be able to find something. Why is, it slow? Like the glitch that happened in Bionicle Kit Paracosmos? In Lee Koro? I'm not a fan of this glitch. Why am I slow? Hey, Maeda, wait. Mikaru, you didn't go to investigate the 5th floor? I stopped by the library because I had something to investigate, but then I found an important clue. An important clue? Do you remember that there was a locked door in the back of the library? That door opened. Really? I thought Monokuma only said that the 5th floor was open. I don't know why you didn't mention about the back door in the library, but there was a lot of interesting things inside. That area is open now, so go ahead and look for yourself. Or see for yourself. Oh, okay, thank you, Mikaru. One word. Since both Akane and Teruya are in charge of the 5th floor without seeing this, why don't you tell them later? They both rushed over there without a second thought. I'll be heading to the 5th floor. Wait, what, Mikaru? You just said Teruya and Akane. She's really starting to become friendly with us. But I can't say this in front of her. Anyway, thanks to Mikaru, now I know that there's an open place besides the 5th floor. The door at the back of the library. I'll make sure to check it out later as well. Wait, did the text box just come back? As Mikaru said, it really is open, the door behind the library. But what even is this place? The room inside the library has a very different atmosphere from the outside, and there were a few books here, but even those were empty. They're bookshelves, you mean. There's only a half-opened book left by Mikaru on the desk. There's nothing that stands out in particular, so this is all about the book.
Is this the important clue Makaru mentioned? It was a bit small book, and it looked portable. I decided to read only the part that could be read by picking up the notebook that had only the half of it left, as if someone else had torn it apart. I finally arrived here, for the time being, Will. By the way, this diary was still here. Well, it's just a few that come here. The day has passed, everyone can't hide their anxiety. They can't just say it. Since we can't get out of here, in the worst case, we could live here all of our lives, but it would be better than being. Quite a bit of time has passed. Now the mood is a bit more stable. I feel like it has become that way. However, I feel an unknown anxiety. Is this really it? The anxiety that I have has been growing more and more. I don't want to believe it, but is there class among us? Seems to would be done since the moment we set foot in here. The suspects are them. They are suspicious. After that, the notebook was torn in half and couldn't be read anymore. What? Is this a diary written by someone? Who wrote it? Plus this incident. We can't get out of this place. We might live here for our whole lives. These words are like it's the same situation we are in right now. But other than that, I couldn't tell who wrote this diary for what reason. Makaru must have read this diary. Rather than worrying myself, let's think about it with everyone later. Da 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 da. As usual, I take the stairs to investigate a new place. Although a new place is opened, I could not connect it to the usual landscape that soon came into my sight. This is the 5th floor? Terribly bloody since the ground and walls cracked. It's a terrible sight that if this was as horrifying a tragedy, that could have something about a horrible tragedy happened here. You must be surprised, Maeda. Makaru? Well, who would be surprised to see this sight? Yeah, honestly, even I can't help but fight the smell. We will too, because the 5th floor is far distinctly different than any other floor. It is different. If it's bloody like this, you idiot, the blood is already there, but look at the overall structure. It's not the same. Soon enough you'll notice. The structure? What is clear is that this is a very interesting place. Monokuma said that we need to be prepared in order to see the 5th floor, which means there must be something only on this floor. Well, let's look at it from the top to bottom. Don't be dazed and investigate. Now there's a text box again, but it's in the middle of the screen when I'm talking to someone. It's too abnormal. The impression of blood and destruction is so intense that it's not very noticeable. Not very noticeable, but I should investigate first. So intense, it's not very noticeable, apparently. What's this door? They said that it's that the 5th floor is the top floor, so it doesn't seem like it would go anywhere. Is it the rooftop? Damn it, it's locked. Monokuma, he might have lied, saying that the 5th floor was all open. Still, I feel something is off about this door. There seems to be something really important behind this. I wonder. To be opened in Chapter 6, I guess. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the case up to the end of Chapter 5. It's suspicious, but I don't have many options right now, so it's a waste of time to worry about. Let's leave it alone for now. Yuki, you're here now? Teruya, the 5th floor is... Did you see it? No, even with seeing or sleeping in this room right now is... Sleeping? I can't even guess to what happened here. It's like a terrorism event just ended. According to the tag on the door of this room, it's called the parlor. I'm investigating that as I can. By the way, Teruya, are you okay? What do you mean about being okay? Well, it's bloody everywhere. I think even I feel like the scale of our situation is getting bigger and bigger non-stop. I'm kind of saying this now, but Teruya was very weak against these things. That, I must say, you were timid. Yuki sure knows how to talk, saying all those things in front of me surprisingly. You are correct. Honestly, the 5th floor is shocking enough that I would never imagine. This bloody scent that keeps hitting your nose. I just want to throw this investigation and run away like a coward. But we made a promise to Satsuki. We vowed to not run away anymore. And these goggles? Haruhiko's goggles are giving me strength. It's scary that I want to run away from everything. But every time I think about that, I think about them too. It's kind of funny when I say this, but I'm more serious than ever. No, I can see Teruya's determination clearly. I'm sorry for calling you a coward. Should that be Yuki's line, not Teruya's line? To be honest, I'm probably more of a coward. I think the name is wrong on those 2 lines. I don't mind. At least it's not a bad thing to say. Well then, I'm going to continue investigating the parlor more. Is Maeda going to investigate here too? Oh, I'll go somewhere else. I'll leave the parlor to you. Okay, I hope you find something too. Everyone is growing up. Akane surpassed Ayame's death, and Mikaru also began to acknowledge and cooperate with us. Teruya has become mentally strong in the sense of Haruhiko's redemption. Even though Kinjo has fainted by shock, you two began to realize his twisted values. Not to mention Haruhiko and Satsuki, who threw away their lives to save us. But what about me? Am I growing? Somehow I feel like everyone is moving away. It's like I'm the only one stuck in one place on my own. You're just too much of a goody two-shoes. You don't have any bad stuff to get over. No, why am I suddenly immersed in this state of futile inferiority? I'm struggling as far as I can to defeat the mastermind alongside everyone else. That's the only action to think and act right now. I'm going like around the back here just because I know there's coins. Like that really matters, but... Told ya. Those the knife used in the murder from was from there. Okay. Are there coins back here? What the hell is this place? It said it was a laboratory. No matter where I looked, there was some kind of incubators and blood everywhere. It was an unpleasant place. I have to investigate, starting from those weird capsules. What is this thing? Some of them are of light sound in red and some of them are green. Amidst the unpleasant metal-like capsules lined up, while checking one of them, I found a familiar name in front of the box. Ayami Hatano. Interesting that I did it in a different order. I didn't actually meet Ray coming out like I did in the original build. What is Hatano? Why is the name of the dead Hatano? Hatano's name suddenly appeared. No, isn't this really out of place? Suddenly I got a horrifying feeling and noticed that there were only 16 capsules, and I ran to the one next to it. Higa Mitsuhiro. Mitch's name. Hatano and Mitch. All of them were friends who died after being executed by Monokuma. No way, this wouldn't be. What's inside these capsules? It was only after checking the status of the third capsule I could realize what my sinister premonition... Now my sinister... What my... Should be that. My sinister premonition was true. Yuki Maeda. My name, and a green light. Swallowing my spit, I pushed open the capsule with my name on it. It's empty. Looking at the 16 capsules, some of them were lit up. Some of them had green lights on. In addition, a mark was written on the front of a capsule with a red light next to the name. And a mark was written on the front of the doors with a green light. Counting the numbers, there are 9 red lights and 7 green lights. Names on the green light capsules were Yuki Maeda, Kane Taira, Tsurugi Kinjo, Rei Mikaru, Mikako Kurokawa, Teruya Otori, and Yamato Kisaragi. All of the living ones. If that's it then the other ones, no way, they can't be. Ah yes, they can, Maeda-kun. It's exactly what Maeda-kun is thinking. Monokuma, you did this? Yeah, this lab is a place to hold the bodies of the people who have died so far. Even though it's not really a morgue, it would suit for one. These are all made for each one of you. You can open the capsule at any time, so if you miss the faces of your dead friends, take them out and see them. Oh, although you'll be punished severely for corpse damage, so try to appreciate it as much as possible, okay? You shouldn't touch it in a museum, but only use your eyes. How did you do this? This is terrible. You're insane. According to what Monokuma says, there are really my dead friends inside these capsules in front of me. I know that, but how can I understand this? How can you convince yourself of this insane action? Huh? You don't want to believe me? Then wait a minute. I'll take one and show it to you. Wait, stop it. Enough. Just stay still. It's a little grotesque, so why not just use Maki's corpse with the least damaged body, okay? Stop. Yeah, the shoulders suggest she's naked in there. How about it? It's been such a long time. Isn't it nice to meet each other again? Maki? Ah, how could you? Despite my refusal, he opened the capsule without hesitation, and Monokuma pulled out Maki's body. At the same time, anger flowed inside, but my body couldn't react to anything because of the insane and abnormal situation. Oh, sorry. Even though the degree of damage was small, it's been quite some time since they started to decay. It's been corrupted a lot, huh? It's a bit disgusting, but, you can endure it, right? The power of your friendship is stronger, right? Damn you. Ah, yeah, the smell of rotten flesh is bad for your health, so I'll put it this way. Even the super high school level sharpshooter, who struggled like that, eventually became like this. Haha. Wow, why are you overreacting so much? It's a corpse. You seem funny already. Shut up. Why the hell? What's the reason for showing me this? What's the reason? What else is there than to make you guys despair? What? You guys were the ones who started after the class trial yesterday. That you'll reveal my identity and try to punish me. I'm just playing my opposition accordingly, see? It is often in boys' comic books, right? When the protagonist powers up and announces a decisive showdown, the villain also powers up accordingly to drive the protagonist to be even more desperate. It's the same. Damn it. Such a terrible thing. Well, no matter how far you go, I wonder if you can reach the truth, let alone my identity. I'm hopelessly bored waiting still. For reference, that desperate expression and almost vomiting was very good. It was a nice show for me, to someone like Maeda-kun. So goodbye. Damn it, stop joking around. What despair. I'll never forgive you. Monokuma does outrageously inhumane acts. I have to get back on track and continue to investigate the new areas. There's a small notebook on the desk. There was a notebook full of various articles clipped from the newspaper. Let's see, what article is this? Huh? Seeing the clipped articles, I couldn't hide my surprise. In the photos is the newspaper article. In the photos in the newspaper article, a gigantic Monokuma, a mob-dressed Monokuma costumes were publicly revealed. What are these fishy contents? The world's biggest desperate event in human history. Should be the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. According to the article, the world's situation went in jeopardy due to a sudden simultaneous terrorist attacks all over the world. It was a crisis that should have never happened again in history. Or never happened at all. Anakin, what's wrong? You look surprised. Connie, look at this. What, a newspaper? I don't really read the news that much. Now, what is this? Monokuma? It seems to be called the greatest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Connie, do you know? There's nothing this absurd thing. No matter how much I read the article, if this had appeared, it would have been an uproar on the news or the internet. And the date this event is said to have occurred is in the future? The future? What else does it say? It's literally the future. We were kidnapped at the entrance ceremony, so we seem to remain here, and it must have passed roughly 2 weeks until today. The day written in this newspaper is 3 months from today. Really? How did this happen? Obviously, something or other. So you entered the... I accidentally went to the next line. Let's see. So we entered a little earlier than the normal semester, right? Yeah, we didn't pay much attention to it because they mentioned the main class, which is not a preparatory department, is a free atmosphere rather than a standard class schedule. We really didn't bother very much. Thinking about it, the date written in this paper is almost as close to the start of a normal semester. Well, I know what it means, but it doesn't make sense that the newspaper is from a future date. The contents of the newspaper are also unconventional, and the whole Monokuma aspect of it could have been a fabrication, clearly. Yeah, I think so too. But maybe something strange happened here. And for now, let's talk about it with Ray-chan later. Ray-chan must know more things than we do, so she might be able to clear this something. Okay, then about this notebook. I'll have it. I can hand it to Ray-chan later, okay? The world's most tragic event, most tragic, most awful, most whatever event in human history. Why do I get this ominous feeling? Greatest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Kane, you're here. Are you investigating? Yes, but, look at this. What is this? Yamato Kisaragi, the third student of the Kisaragi the third president of the Kisaragi Foundation. Huh? It's not the same name or something like that, right? Wherever you look, Kisaragi-kun we met is a former student, right? That's true. It's written as the Kisaragi Foundation that Makaru mentioned first. I thought this was the principal's office at first, but when I looked closely, it said that it was the director's office. Although it says the collection office in this. Principal's office, or if it is the headmaster's office, that's already on the 4th floor. More than that, alternative this room is, 5th floor is all bloody and is in a terrible shape. It's a strange feeling. It feels like only the 5th floor is independent from Host Peak Academy. It turns out that Makaru, who I met a while ago, said the same thing. The 5th floor is very different from all the previous floors. There's also the fact that Kisaragi-kun's picture is hanging there. Seems like an important clue that shouldn't be overlooked. I would agree with you there. Let's keep it in mind and continue investigating other places. It seems to be a lot of information. There seems to be a lot of information on the 5th floor. It's a bit difficult because of the smell. of blood. The smell of blood doesn't go away, but I'll try my best. A lot of typos. I'm a car. Are you trying to investigate this room? Might know I'd like to, but it's impossible. This room is locked. A lock? Are you saying it can't open? Just shush and come here. Do you see it? There's a password input panel. Password? Not a normal lock? Moreover, Monokuma said there was nothing. Locked on the 5th floor. That's not it. The record room has an auto lock function, so I can't open it if I would like. Monokuma? Oh, is it important enough that it needs an auto lock? No, wait, it's not like that. What on earth happened on the 5th floor anyway? What the hell is this? Isn't it your job to figure that out? I'm glad you like it. This place was specifically left as it was at the time. As it was at the time? I ran my mouth too much. I don't know, so figure it out yourself. Anyway, the door to the rec room will open. Once you enter the password, got it? Oh, and one more thing. For the record, only one person can go in. If someone is already inside, it won't open, even if you enter the password correctly. What? Why does such a pain-in-the-ass system exist? The recording room itself is a single room. I can't do anything with this. It's probably the records room. The records room is a single room. I can't do anything with this because it checks the heartbeat of the person inside and restricts access. And what if one more person enter at the same time? That's impossible too. The sensor at the entrance will activate. The secondary bulkhead doors will lock. De-entry. Well, you guys don't know the password. So this is useless information anyways. Well, of course, Maeda, you don't know the password either. Doesn't matter. Even if it wasn't specifically the rec room, or the records room, there are still interesting clues in the other rooms as well. Let's continue the investigation by being open-minded. Once the investigation is over, I'll call you, so you better do a good investigation report. Yeah, it should be fine. By the way, Makaru, you are often disgusted at gatherings and reporting investigations. It's rather funny that you asked us to report our investigation. Seeing that you won't stop talking means you don't want to investigate. Okay, sure, let's not do it. Oh, I was joking, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was also joking too. Sorry. Go ahead and investigate. Seriously, Makaru has no openings. I just got a reverse beating. But in the past, she would have been angry. I guess taking a joke with a joke is a little better. I think I've looked around all the newly opened places. I decided to move to the dormitory. After roughly completing the investigation of the newly opened places, we decided to gather in the dining hall as usual to report on the investigation according to Makaru's proposal. Now, let me hear what everyone has investigated. This is the first time a report is being conducted with only 4 people. There are only 4 of us in this giant room. It can't be helped. Kinjo and Kurokawa are unconscious, and Kisaragi is off topic, apparently. Hey, but is it really necessary to report on the investigation in here? That as well. The eyes and ears are open. Kana glanced at the surveillance camera and blurted out her words. I think I know what she wants to say. It would only mean that our report of the investigation could be comfortably in Makaru's room, which is not affected by surveillance cameras. No, you guys have been doing reports in this dining hall so far, haven't you? Then you better do what you've been doing. And I said this, didn't I? You can't stay in that place for long. I said I'll call when we really need it. Until then, do as usual. Although I'll praise you for not saying anything there without thinking. Honestly, you guys are dubious about your lightness in your words, but now you're doing very good. Oh, yes, thanks. Wow, I was praised by Raychan. You look like a real teacher. She is not just a real teacher, right? Super high school level professor. Please don't make the same sounds as Maeda. Anyway, let's begin the investigation report. As you know, we've investigated it. The 5th floor was uniquely different, even within the different atmosphere of the school. Yeah, the first thing I discovered was the it's red on red. Terrible, the ribble bloodstain spreading across the 5th floor and the signs of destruction. I can't even guess what happened in there. I don't think the corridor was originally like that. Is there something like a terrorist event happened in Hope's Peak Academy? Because when the 2nd floor was opened, there was a notice in the library that the doors of Hope's Peak would be closed. If there was that, then the serious problem mentioned in the notice is what was left on the 5th floor? Wait, that doesn't make sense. When we entered Hope's Peak Academy, there was no notice that Hope's Peak was closing, and the 5th floor should have been fine. Actually, I have a guess about that problem, but I won't talk about it here, so I'll call you later. For now, let's skip this and start with something else. Well, the rooms on the 5th floor were parlor, collection room, record room, and laboratory. There were 4 rooms in total. I checked the parlor room, like the kitchen and the dormitory. There were cooking utensils, like a gas stove or kitchen knives, so it seems possible to cook in there. Of course, the whole room is covered in blood, so no one would want to cook in there and cook in a place like that. I examined the collection room. Like Otori-kun said, it was blood in there. I think it's probably the collection room was the director's office, right? Well, there was a picture of him. Him? The 3rd president of the Kisaragi Foundation, Yamato Kisaragi. The picture of Kisaragi was hung in the frame of the wall like that. Is that so? That's not all. Next to it were the pictures of people named I skipped the next line by accident. Hanzo Kisaragi, saying they were the 1st and 2nd representatives. Kisaragi Hanzo, isn't that the owner of the graduation album? Yes, the 1st representative, Yusaku, was also. It's clear that there is something related to the Kisaragi Foundation, Hope's Peak Academy. No, wait, Yamato Kisaragi was the 3rd representative? The Kisaragi Foundation couldn't change their representative so quickly. What is the time frame would this be? What time frame would this be? It would have been Kisaragi Hanzo at the day of the entrance ceremony. No, this can't be either. Ray-chan, what's wrong? Never mind. So what else? Other than that, in the collection room, the director's office, Akane, there were the newspaper clippings. Oh, that's right. Guys, there was something very suspicious. It's white on white. Can't tell what I'm supposed to say. Whatever. We had a clue that seemed promising. Look at this. We had a clue that seemed promising. Look at this. What is this? Look at the contents of it. Looks like a notebook somewhere, cut out and scrapped. The newspaper's articles. Eek, what is this? Monokuma? The greatest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Haha, what kind of joke is this? We don't know either. It was on the desk of the collection room. Or the director's office. Desk in the director's office. as it's written here, it seems that there's been an exponential increase in mobs around the entire world, and we're rioting in each country. Don't be ridiculous. This would have reached the army if it were the case. Where were they? If you look at this paragraph, there's been a reactionary molecule or key people among the mob that's responsible for the events of the disaster. So the response team in the event were not under any control due to the reactionary molecules that have been stained by the mobs. I don't understand what that was supposed to be, but whatever. This is the epicenter of this first riot is called Hope's Week Academy. Stupid. But I didn't know about such an event. I don't, right? I mean, this massive terror cannot happen in just a few weeks, like we are. That's true. Maybe it was Monokuma's manipulation. Honestly, it's not even real. The giant Monokuma destroys a building. It's not even a science fiction movie. It's also too absurd, but it's not that there is only the possibility of manipulation. According to this newspaper, the worst desperate event, the greatest, most awful, most tragic event in human history has occurred in the future. In the future, it must have been about 2 weeks since we were here, the entrance ceremony. But even calculating from that time, there's still a few months left until the date written in the newspaper. Then what is it? It's not like the newspaper flew in from the future in a time machine. I also heard Maeda-kun's words and thought this could only be a manipulation. But I don't know why make such an elaborate operation. If you think about it, it's obvious that all the videos of the first motive were to be manipulated. So there's nothing to be surprised about now, right? Future, 5th floor, Hopesuki Academy, 3rd generation representative. As expected, I'm convinced at this moment. Karu, what's wrong? No, I'll tell you later. Give me that notebook. I'll handle it. Okay. Yeah, for now, put all suspicious things on hold. What's next? Did you find anything else? Maybe it's for the best, but Makaru, aren't you overlining too roughly? Of course, I think it's a manipulation, but I think we should put some thought into it more. Makaru made a stare at Teruya without saying anything, and raised her head towards the camera. Yeah, although it's better to leave the complicated thinking aside. Let's continue the investigation report. Well, I mainly investigated the collection room and hallway. There was, you mean the director's office and hallway. There was a place called the records room. What's going on there? The records room, I couldn't enter. The door is locked with the password input device. So if you don't know the password, the door won't open. That sounds very important. Then what about the lab? Did anyone search the lab? What? Ray-chan, Maeda-kun. You two went silent all of a sudden. Don't be alarmed and listen. It's something we learned while searching the lab. There were 16 capsules in the lab. In those capsules were the bodies of the people who had died so far inside. What? Huh? Did I hear something wrong just now? Are you deaf? It's bodies of the 15 of us. There are 16 capsules, including Yamato Kisaragi's, and the dead ones have their bodies stored inside them. Surely this is just some nonsense. A real corpse? I know it sounds like crazy, but it's true. Monokuma took out Maki's body and showed it to me. That's so horrible. How can you do that to humans? Yeah, I'll admit that it's twisted. Well, when was Monokuma not insane anyway? Anyways, in the case of the people who are still alive, a green light is on the capsule. That means, if we die in the future, we'll be in that capsule. Yeah. That's crazy. I can't forgive him for harassing people who have already died. Yes, it's better if you got more fighting spirit, risen further to aspire more into looking for more clues. Unfortunately, the lab had nothing else to be discovered except that insane site. And that's everything from the 5th floor compared to the previous one. I guess the progress was somewhat better. There's another door right at the end of the 5th floor, but that was also locked. No, but isn't that weird? The 5th floor was mentioned to be wide open by Monokuma, but there were 2 places locked. It's wrong to believe what he says in the first place. Looking at your priorities, or looking at your priorities right now, you don't know anything about the library either. Suddenly the library came up? Oh, that's right, there was a locked door behind the library that was also open there. Yes, I told Maeda. It's the way you heard it. The inside of that door was a small... The inside of that door was a small solitary room, similar to the 5th floor. Flower pots are broken. Even if there's a bookshelf, all the books are gone or damaged. But I found something interesting in it. Interesting? It was only half torn. It was half torn, but it was a diary written by someone, like a small notebook. Don't interrupt my words. Sorry. Anyway, the contents of the diary are like this. We barely arrived here. For the time being, Will. Also, this diary was still here. Well, there are only a few who come here now. A day has passed. Everyone can't hide their anxiety, but they can't help it. We can't get out of this place. In the worst case, we could live here forever. But it would be better than quite a bit of the time has passed. Now the mood is somewhat calming. However, I feel an unknown anxiety. Is this really it? The anxiety that I felt inside was getting bigger and bigger. I don't want to believe it, but is there a class among us? From the moment we entered, then we are finished. The suspects are them. They are suspicious. That's what it said. Was that weird? I don't even know what they're talking about. It's no wonder that you don't understand, because something or other. Some of the letters are blurred out and the back part is torn, but this alone gives you a great clue, doesn't it? A clue? That we might live here our whole life, that we can't get out. Doesn't it feel similar to our situation? Well, there's that too, but I'm not sure about the person who wrote it was in the same position like us. But it's a bit different from us when they say we barely arrived. And it wasn't written that long ago because of the dust on the paper and dry ink. I mean, it may be a little different, but it was written by a person in this building. Then I'll ask at this point, if there is a person who wrote this article, out of the 16 of us, including Yamato Kisaragi, who would be? Well, wouldn't it be possible to find out by doing some handwriting survey? But that method won't work with our dead friends, and we already know the person who wrote in this diary is the current people alive. Do we? No, the handwriting check is bullshit, but Maeda is right. The person who wrote this article is one of the currently alive people. How can you be so sure? It's a guess, but from the nuances of the first paragraph, the author was not the first person to arrive here. But we were the ones to attend Hope's Academy for the first time. Except for one person, the one who is unidentified, and sure enough, to hang a photo in this building. You don't mean Kisaragi? It is most likely that guy, or Mikako Kurokawa. Why Mikako-chan? In here. That's all I can tell you. In this place right now. Other than that, there are no other new clues. Hikaru quickly noticed the surveillance camera and hurriedly terminated her speech. Right. But we were in trouble. We found out very little. No, we didn't have a clue before, but we have found a lot. That's a huge fact, too. Really? That's Raychon for you. Well, this is also a fact that I realized after investigating with you guys. In that aspect, you have my gratitude, thank you. Hikaru, where are you suddenly going? What about the investigation report? What is it? Aren't we done reporting? is all I can tell you in this place right now. I'll call you later, so you do your usual stuff. She's gone. We've gotten a lot closer since Rei-chan said she was going to be with us, but it seems like she's reluctant to be with us somewhere in her mind. Still, where does Mikaru wants to do this? Let's think better. Right, everyone noticed what Mikaru was trying to say? Yes, now Rei-chan is more dependent. So let's follow Rei-chan's words. Let's go to that newly opened library room. I'll go around and investigate. Let's behave as Mikaru suggested. Yeah, but something's bothering me a little. What's wrong, Akane? No, it's just I'm worried about Kinjo-kun and Mikako-chan. Well, that's one thing, but now that the first aid has been done, we have no choice but to wait for them to recover. That's true for Kurokawa, but Kinjo is not awake. A day has already passed. Yep, that's for granted. If Kinjo-kun was awake, he would have been severely punished because he didn't come out when introducing Kisaragi-kun. Monokuma? Go away, we never called you. Well, easy, I just came to answer my Maeda-kun anyway. One more thing about Kinjo-kun. I haven't seen any signs of him waking up or any shocks at all. He's gone. He's gone. Still, after listening to Monokuma, it makes sense. If Kinjo had been awake, he would have heard Monokuma's call and came to the gym. Because if we don't follow, we get punished. That's more worrying, though, Kinjo-kun. I haven't seen any signs of him waking up. Honestly, when he was in the ballroom and then waking up to see stuff like this, I'd rather want him to be fainted like this. No, I believe that if you are Kinjo, you will surely realize your wrong values and wake up. Yeah, I feel the same way. And it's best to join forces with Kinjo and get out of here, right? Oh, we're just joking. Alright, then let's move. Mikaru realized something due to the newly discovered clues on the 5th floor. Thanks to the surveillance camera, it was hard to talk right now. So for now, let's spend time investigating until Mikaru calls us. Oh, come to think of it, I also decided to talk to Kisaragi as well. Before we investigate, I should properly talk to him. We couldn't communicate well, but I think he's still on the dormitories. Let's find him. Oh, I found Kisaragi. What the person with Kisaragi is Kurokawa. She's awake, however. Oh, now we have the text. No, we still have no text box. That's just the... I was mistaking, like, the space where the hallway isn't. The dead space is the text box. What's with this atmosphere? Yamato-ni? Hello. Why? Why is Yamato-ni is like that? Lady, I guess I'm sick because I'm not feeling well, and you seem to be in the same status as I am. Your face turned blue and you're getting discolored. How did this happen? Why? Ow. Oh, I see. You got many things to say there. You're also very excited too. If you want to hear my adventure story, you want to hear me out then? But I refuse. I can't tell you. Yamato-kun. Until now, you were far away. I don't know what you're saying. Straight up, use your mouth language. I want to say Yamato-kun to you. Ow. Yamato-kun. What Kurokawa? She's still in a bad shape, but Kurokawa's attitude towards Kisaragi is awfully strange. It seems like some kind of relationship. But why am I hiding and eavesdropping? The purpose here was to talk to Kisaragi in the first place. Hey, Kisaragi. You. Oh, we met for a while in the morning. I'm Yuki Maeda. Hey, I want to talk to you. Yuki Maeda? It's this again. I haven't done anything, but Kisaragi stares at me fiercely. When I saw him talking with Kurokawa, he was normal. It seemed like I'm the exception. Why? Hey, take it easy. Why do you look so angry? I just want to greet you. You want to say hello? Well, that's right. Please don't be angry all the time. I didn't do anything. It's a little sad to be the target of anger. Yuki Maeda, are you a bad person? Why am I a bad person? Well, it's kind of weird to call someone, you call yourself good, but I'm not a bad person either. Then are you really a good person? Bad, good. If we pick one, personally, I think I'm nice. Good. Oh, a change of heart. Bright light. More than previously, you say you're good? Monokuma said that Kisaragi had a problem on his brain. Although the conversation is difficult to comprehend, it doesn't seem possible at all. Kisaragi seemed to have loosened up to the boundaries to see if he could listen to me. Yeah, if I had done anything wrong, please tell me for sure. Don't be angry for no reason. I'll fix it somehow. You, Yuki Maeda, no fault, that's it. Is it like that? Me misunderstood. Misunderstanding? I heard that Kisaragi was a student who just entered Hoseki Academy as the super ice level inventor, so you're a classmate. I said my greetings to you once. Well, they said you had a little problem in your brain. But since you are my friend, tell me if there's anything difficult. If I can, I'll help you. And I'll like to talk to the others too. I'd like you to talk to the others too, although there are more of us who are already gone. Oh, I see. Alright, all good. Understand. Got it. He was angry at first for no reason. So I thought it would be difficult to get close to each other, but it seems to have been a minor misunderstanding. It's still a bit complicated to talk about, but Makaru says that Kisaragi is the most likely candidate to be the mastermind. But I don't feel that way as a result of talking directly, probably. Is it because of the brain damage, or maybe he's acting like an innocent person? Either way, until Makaru calls us, we have to keep investigating. For now, I think it should be okay to know more about Kisaragi. I did that in the other build. Come to think of it, this was originally a wall with nothing in it. And then one day, this became Kisaragi's private room. Well, maybe it was Monokuma's doing. It's not surprising that a new student arrives and you get stuck enough to make a new room. I'm not surprised anymore. Well then, let's move. Okay, I'm gonna go student handbook. Wait, why can't I? I can't access my student handbook. What in the world? Phew, it's evening already. Another day goes by like this. It was just yesterday when our spirit rised up, and it was yesterday when Haruhiko and Satsuki died. It's only been a single day, but it felt like a long time ago. We have to get out of here, for my dead friends. Oh, one moment. Hikaru, come to my room a little later once the nighttime announcement goes off. Oh, you're here to call me? Okay. She goes right back without adding anything else. Probably because she's conscious of the camera. There's nothing to lose, at least, by following Mikaru's words. This is the school's announcement. It is now 10 p.m. It's now nighttime. Lighting how up. Doors closed. Have pleasant dreams. Good night. I'm gonna take a little break. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Everyone's gathered, Ray-chan. My phone just went off. Okay. Junk mail. Yeah. I'll say it again and again, but we can't stay for long, so you better open your ears and listen carefully, as I will only talk about what is absolutely necessary and leave swiftly. Didn't you say you found out something? A report on the investigation? If you look at what we couldn't say in the dining room, is it so important that it's dangerous if the mastermind hears it? Did you find out who the mastermind is? No, it's nothing like that. Right, Sean? Then why? You seemed to be taken by surprise back then. Geez, it's a little serious that you guys haven't caught on. Mikaru? Just listen for a moment. There are two things I found out. Of course, I'm not sure of this. It's just my guess anyway, but the chances are high on this. First, do you all remember what I said this morning? What do you mean? A significant amount of time has passed since we entered Hope Speak Academy, and we don't remember it. You mean this hypothesis? I remember. I thought Ray-chan was trying to drive Mikako-chan away. Of course, I had that intention. Before I could explain it properly, Monokuma brought that transfer student, and it ended abruptly. And we lost our memories. Maybe this isn't a hypothesis. No way, even so, the fact that all 15 of us had amnesia is such an absurd story, right? Shut up and listen first, I'll explain it methodically. As Mikaru said that, she took a piece of paper out of her pocket. This paper it's a summary of the questions I have been asking since we've been here, nothing special. So far, thoroughly. Yeah, unlike us, you're very thoughtful. First, it was right after Kinji Uehara's execution ended, when I began to suspect about amnesia. Most likely when Maeda and I last spoke about this topic. Oh, you mean when the fourth floor just opened? I'm sorry, but even up to that time, I thought Mikaru was testing me out again, and I couldn't really believe it. It was around that time, but as more and more fitting clues kept coming out, I changed my mind. Remembering that I talked about with Maeda back then, remember the video of Monokuma, us, right before Uehara was executed? Should be showed, right? The horrible video of the children's corpses, is that the one you're talking about? It's not enough to kill a person, and it's not enough to leave them rotting. How much cruel is this Monokuma? Yes, they were decayed. That's where I first got my doubts. Uehara said that after we fainted, he woke up earlier than us and met face to face with Monokuma. At that time, the priest identified the children being hostage by Monokuma, and even spoke to those kids directly. This was the day of the entrance ceremony. It must have been about 2 weeks before Uehara was executed. I mean, even if the children were killed right after talking to Uehara. I mean, if it's only been 2 weeks since they died, then there's a problem. Is it possible for a person to rot so fast and turn into a skeleton for only 2 weeks? From only 2 weeks? Huh? A test question? I don't know. I can't think straight. Same goes for me. If we look at it as 0 and X, is it X? I can't be sure since it was filmed, but if I'm right, the answer becomes impossible. If it wasn't artificially tampered with or in a really specific environment, then naturally, at this time, things that I have been wondering about. We found the notice in the library that Hope Speak... This like cuts off mid-thought. Found this notice in the library that Hope Speak Academy is due to be closed in our group photos, and the group photo of us that Maeda saw in the art room. Connecting these two, it was the first time I thought of the possibility of amnesia. Unbelievable, but then what next? Well, I wasn't sure at the time, but I kept it as a hypothesis. But when I heard Satsuki's last words yesterday, I started thinking about it again. Oh, maybe you mean the picture Haru discovered, mentioned by Satsuki. That's right. This is really speculation, but if we already met before, wouldn't our bodies react first, even if we don't remember? Like looking at a picture of your lover? I mean, before we lost our memories, Kobashikawa and Natsuki-chan were lovers? Don't take it seriously, because this is all just a guess at this stage. The reason I think this way is because it's almost impossible to give up your life for the sake of someone you just met here, no matter how good or natural their relationship was. Or were. Thinking about that picture, Haruhiko's head vaguely recognized his old memories. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm looking down at their spirit of sacrifice between the two. Something is weird. I didn't expect such a romantic comment coming from Makaru. It's not like that, you idiot. This is something that needs to be scientifically explained. In the case of the momentary amnesia, by showing clues such as the flashbacks of old memories or hypnosis. Okay, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Calm down and explain again, please. Anyway, it was something like that. Another clue was the newspaper article that Maeda and Taira found this morning. You mean the newspaper clippings with a date in the future? Indeed, it's the future from our point of view. However, if we substitute it from the amnesia we have, can we substitute it for the amnesia we have? Can we still see it from the future? Wait, if it's been quite some time since we entered Hope's Peak, if it's been months, not 3 weeks only, the date of the newspaper is usually when the new semester begins. It becomes the past. It's a newspaper that has been there for a while. No, but can you look at a newspaper, I can't read. Can you look at the newspaper's contents recklessly, pushing the amnesia theory? Are you saying this absurd thing really happened? Anyone can tell it's a manipulation. I'd rather give more credit for this impossible thing, though. And how? Think about it. Is there anything that has not happened since we gathered here? In the beginning, our situation itself became dangerous from the get-go. I can't object to it. And was it the biggest and most awful, most tragic event in human history? I read the articles slowly, and it's been no exaggerating to say that the world has been destroyed. The world has been destroyed? Impossible. No, it's not my way over the end of the world. It's not way over the end of the world. I think it's at least enough to cause the collapse of the human society itself. But there's no difference. No, even if I think carefully, it's beyond the realm of speculation. This is a joke. The world coming to an end? That literally can't happen. That literally can't happen. You brainless fool. That's just your own opinion. The world we live in isn't as perfect as you might think. No one knows when it will suddenly collapse for certainty. In the end, the Earth has already experienced hundreds of crises that could have led to nuclear war. The fact that society is being manipulated like this is fortunate enough to surpass first place in a lottery. It's more like that society has continued to exist. Even so, if that's true, if the real world is doomed, then I don't see a reason to leave this school anymore. How are we supposed to live on it when you tell me that the world is just gone? Teruya, don't be so discouraged. As I keep saying, this is all just but a guess at this point. But also one with a very high probability. The biggest, most tragic, most awful, whatever event in human history. Actually, we may already know what is supposed to be the aftermath of this. What are you talking about? The motive Monokuma showed us before Maki died. I don't know if each of you have seen it, but if the article on this newspaper is true, wouldn't it also explain the video? It can't be. If that video is really true, then my family is already... Actually, Hatano and Higa's words just added more credibility. The FIFA headquarters was attacked, the land being destroyed, so much that it was impossible to run anymore. Wouldn't this match what this article says? To sum it all up, after entering Hope's Peak Academy and spending a normal school life, meanwhile the biggest and most awful, most tragic event in human history occurred. Somehow we survived with our memories removed by someone, and then we suspected each other in a place that we didn't even recognize. That is what happened. Such a thing. I can't believe it. But after listening to Ray-chan, I wonder if it's alright to say that everything was true. Then the article that said that Hosting Academy was the epicenter of the incident. We, who are the students of this academy, have nothing to do with it at all. But then why? Why us? Why are we the only ones in Hosting Academy? What happened to the other students? Are we really the only ones alive like this? Don't get angry at me, you fool, because this isn't confirmed yet. Well, I don't know the details, but I can think of one reason why we in this predicament. Of the 15 of us, no, isn't it because the mastermind is among the 16? So, that's the idea? Are you still doubting Mikako-chan and Kisaragi-kun? No, I don't know about that. Huh? Then what other option is there? In the morning, you were suspicious of Kurokawa and Kisaragi. If it's not that, other than those two, then who the heck is it? Don't make a fuss and listen first. This is not yet certain, let alone conjecture. This is just my own imagination. We just said that our memories have been erased, right? But what if the mastermind is in the same state? What do you mean, Mikaru? Are you saying the mastermind erased their own memory? Only if. It's just one possibility, but if that really were to be true, then it won't matter who the mastermind is. It could be anyone. It could be Maeda, it could be Taira, it could be Otori, or maybe it's me who's saying this. I don't want to approach this line of thinking, but it's not good to lie in a partnership, so I'll be honest with you. I am afraid. If this hypothesis were to be true, and if I were the mastermind, the more I dig, the more I'll deny my existence. The more they'll deny their existence. Mikaru, for the first time we met, trembled slightly and showed her own weakness. Self-denial of her own existence. It would be a self-destruction for Mikaru, who values perfection the most. Rei-chan. I'm sorry, I said that I could come along if we were to catch the mastermind, but suddenly it ended up like this. After the hypothesis of the amnesia, I came up with this theory while thinking about the mastermind. Since then, I've gotten a terrible chill on my spine and became mentally exhausted. This appearance doesn't fit me at all, not to me, so forget about it for now. Kari, you must be a human too. I'd be afraid of myself too if I had that feeling. Stupid. I just paused for a moment to tell you to forget it. Our goals still don't change. So I know. Mikaru shouted in embarrassment. It took just a moment to catch her breath, then looked down at the paper and spoke again. It's just one of numerous cases. I think it's unlikely, so let's put this issue aside for now. Wait, you've been suspicious of Kurokawa and Kisaragi all this time, so why did it make you suddenly about this? What? To be honest, it was simply my process of elimination that made me doubt them. I felt like there was something unconventional about the two of them being the mastermind. What if that unpretentious appearance is not the acting of the mastermind? What if you really don't know that you are the mastermind? What if you don't know your true self? If that's the case, then we don't even realize that we could be the mastermind. If that's true, it's impossible to know the mastermind's true nature. Yes, but it's unlikely to do that. If you erase your own memory in the first place, even as the mastermind, it'll be impossible to do any follow-up. There would be no plan or anything at all. They would have only one chance. If the mastermind is someone who's good acting, then even those with their unpretentious appearances could be acting as well. They would be considered a huge smokescreen for all we know. Hey, if that's the case, wouldn't it be the more realistic to conclude that there is no mastermind among us? Kurokawa is suspicious, and we suspect them because of Kisaragi's existence. Conversely, there's no guarantee that the mastermind is always among us. If we are all victims, and an unidentified third party is the mastermind, then Mikaru's doubts would be resolved. If in the beginning the mastermind was the cause of the greatest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, it would mean that one of us committed such a world-class terrorism. Well, I honestly agree with that. It doesn't make sense for one high school student to change the world. But if I were to put your words backwards, there's no guarantee that the mastermind in our situation will be the same person as the mastermind who caused this greatest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Right, but that's... Still, I agree with Maeda-kun. It is hard to believe that there's a mastermind among us, no matter what we've faced, and there is the issue of controlling Monokuma too. Just as Maeda said, there is no guarantee. Fine, but I'm just thinking of every possible outcome. I always try to think that there's a mastermind mixed with us. To be honest, everything we've said so far is so vague that it doesn't feel real at all, but, right, even if it's true in theory, artificially erasing the memories of all of us, such a thing is practically impossible. Not entirely unreasonable. When you think about the Kisaragi Foundation's scientific power, what is it? Didn't I say that when I found out two things? One thing was that the amnesia we just spoke. And the other one is information about the Kisaragi Foundation. A little while ago, you said something about the scientific power of the Kisaragi Foundation. I literally said it, right? It is no exaggeration to say that the Kisaragi Foundation is already half a century ahead of the cutting-edge science. There are new rumors that they are actually providing manpower to the US state, although they're not from a reliable source. The Kisaragi Foundation can manipulate a human's memories? It wouldn't be impossible. If one of the reasons why I initially thought that the mastermind was among us. Is there really a need for someone to control Monokuma? Because so far, it has moved on its own. What Monokuma did? Actually, it's not a dream to create a Monokuma-type artificial intelligence robot with the skills of the Kisaragi Foundation. The humanoid theory has already been completed. That's incredible, but Mikaru, you didn't treat Monokuma as an artificial intelligence when they were here back then. At the time, I didn't know that the Kisaragi Foundation was deeply involved. But this hypothesis is also absurd, because that level of AI has already reached the level of human beings. The Kisaragi Foundation, what is it? Why is the Kisaragi Foundation involved with Hope's Peak Academy? Certainly, that is an important question, and the Kisaragi Foundation's mark was on the 5th floor collection room and in the ballroom. The 5th floor director's office, that is. About that, listen carefully to what I have to say from now on, because it'll be very shocking. Why did you lower your voice? It's about what I found out about the Kisaragi Foundation. That is... Huh? What are you guys doing in Mikaru's room? Oh, Monokuma, seriously, stop appearing out of nowhere. What do you mean out of nowhere? More than that, I can't see in the surveillance camera again. What's wrong with this? Oh, wasn't it always like that? Leave it. Did Monokuma catch a strange thing not once but twice now? Eh. It's nighttime already, and you don't even sleep in Mikaru's room. You guys, I won't hesitate. Well, we haven't done anything bad. Isn't it just a strange thing that there's 2 males and 2 females? What? How's that against the rules, though? Hey. Whatever Zephirum wrote here. It was a joke, seriously, the surveillance camera doesn't seem to work, so I'm just here to check it out. Why are you checking with us that your management is poor? What do you know about surveillance cameras? We're not even going to sleep. We're just gathering to chat here. So hurry up and get out. Is it really poor management anyways? In my vivid mind, I think that you must have done something to the camera. You know, right? If that is true, you're guilty of damaging the DRA. What? Monokuma? Monokuma, who is using an unusually strange way to speak, is becoming silent, slightly different mood than usual, and then suddenly stopped as if it died. What? It stopped speaking. Monokuma, what are you doing? Hey, hold on. This is somehow similar to back then. When? When Yuhara's execution was over, Mikako Kurokawa went down to the secret stairs, saying that Monokuma stopped. Does that mean the school is still closed? What's wrong with it? It's not even a computer before crashing. It might be something like that. Oh, Wiz back. What? My body movements are getting dull. No, it's not that the movements that's dull. It can't be. This is not my body doesn't move. 11 seconds have passed. It seems that there is enough time to move. Not. What are you doing, Monokuma? Wait, the system is a little bit, the camera isn't the problem now. Yeah. I'm gonna do a quick checkup now. It's gone. What was that? Leave it alone, because we can't afford to worry about Monokuma. Also, I'd rather call it off for today. Yeah, but we haven't heard of the second fact that Raychan found out yet. I'll tell you about that tomorrow. As you may have seen before, Monokuma is slowly starting to notice the abnormalities. Oh, it's more like anomalies in my room. I'll come up with other measures soon. So go back for now. Let's do as Mikaru suggested, guys. It's already late anyway, so we'll have to go to bed early for tomorrow. Honestly, I don't think I'll be able to sleep much because of the story about my current memory loss. Well, I'll be going now. get to bed and sleep. The switch is off now. Right. But why a teddy bear? Stop worrying and go to sleep already. Yeah, don't say that in front of the camera. And then we decided to got out of bed at Makaru's proposal. Which is like the opposite. Not only is it a typo, but it's also wrong. You decide to go to bed. Oh, I get it. Okay, it's extra T. It's like got out. It's just got to bed. Let's go back to my room. I lay in my bed, but I can't sleep at all. If Makaru's story is true, all of us, we already spent time in Hope's Peak. If we lost our memories... we end up killing each other, our own friends who used to go to school together. That can't be. We were all amnesiacs. Makaru said it was a guess, an unlikely story. As to convince myself and tried to fall asleep. So, what are you going to do next? Hey, just think you've been against all your classmates that way. It's pretty desperate, isn't it? Then I'll leave you with what I've been thinking about before. The details are over. I mean, it's annoying. Do not worry. I'll be watching. Even if I said that, I can't say for sure because it's not important right now. By the way, do you know, as long as you keep deciding, the more you'll end up dead. Ha, does she want me to worry about you? Even your own existence won't interfere with the plan, so get rid of the useless flattery. So, what do you think? Are you in despair now? No fun, guy? Whatever. From now on, you'll be the king over there. Do a good job. Well, Google Translate also couldn't make sense of that either, so. That just never made sense. Is it morning? Ouch, my head. Headache, I slept the wrong way. I think I had a strange dream, but I can't remember properly because of the headache. Rise and shine, Ursine! Just in time, the morning announcement. I should go have breakfast with the others. Breakfast time as usual. There are only 4 of us, even with Makaru, but with that aside, it was quieter than usual. It goes without saying, even if we try to have a conversation to find something to fight the mastermind, we'll expose it to them due to the surveillance cameras. Besides that, everyone seemed to have a lot to think about last night because of Makaru's conclusion. Most crucially, it's because the current dining room had a mix of a disparate character in addition to the 4 of us. Oh, this is a lot, this food. It is. Did you make all of this? Intermediate taste of the new world and the old world. But the woman dancing the tango of the Iberian Peninsula is familiar. Why is this crazy guy with me? The taste of the food is getting worse. I'll stop eating. Makaru, no matter how harsh, you can't. What's wrong? If I don't tell you what I think of him, you already know. Well, Makaru already suspected Kisaragi more than anyone of being the mastermind. Hey, but have we spoke to him? He's been only saying meaningless stuff for no reason. I tried talking to him yesterday, but I didn't understand anything he was saying. It's just as Monokuma said, I think there's something wrong with his head. But even putting that aside, I don't think Kisaragi-kun is so arrogant. It's not about being good or bad. Don't you know what I want to say? Do I really need to say it openly right here, right now? Makaru, lower your voice. He can hear it all. Whether they listen or not, he's disabled anyway, so what do I care? Makaru, you've been rather fierce this morning. Mikako-chan, are you out of your mind? Are you okay? You're pouring out blood in your face all over? Oh right, yesterday's Kurokawa came to her senses for a brief moment. Except for me and Kisaragi, no one knows. I forgot about it. I'm okay, It's all well and good, but why are you here? Do you still think you're in a cooperative relationship with us? You're obviously hiding something. Until you tell the truth, you won't be in the clear. Sorry, I'll just eat. And I'll get out. Well, now wait a minute. There's no need to push it this far. Mikako-chan, it's okay, so... There are certain facts that only she knows. Those might be decisive keys to change this frustrating situation. And just want to move on like this? Mikaru. I'm sorry, but I also agree with Mikaru's opinion. If you're hiding something, the honest thing to do would be to say it. So why can't you say it? It's okay. You don't have to fight for me. Everyone, just do what you've always done. Yama? Mikako-chan. I can't take this any longer. Even at this moment, you're saying that you're going to keep your mouth shut and stay away from us while casting suspiciousness all over the place. Stop playing around. You're treating us like fools. I'm kind of surprised for Mikaru to suddenly do an outburst like that. Another headache? What's the deal with those? What is your relationship with the Kisaragi Foundation? How did you know that if Monokuma stops, this facility would shut down? I'm sorry, I can't answer. Why can't you answer? I can't answer. Are you kidding me? Then you're putting all aside and say that you're the mastermind? Can you really do that, huh? Mikaru, calm down. Why are you suddenly getting so heated up? Kurokawa, I know this is painful, but I'll have to ask you. If you know something, tell us, please. I can't. Is that because Kurokawa doesn't want to talk, or is it because you really don't know anything? It's not that. Then why? I'm not asking you to tell me what you know. I'm asking why can't you tell us? Don't come near me. Hey, Mikako Kurokawa, why are you running away? Mikaru? Why can't I move that fast? Well, why did things turn like this all of a sudden? It's the first time I've ever seen Kurokawa act like that, and Mikaru too. What is going on? We have to follow them first. Mikaru? She went into her room. Rei-chan, why are you so angry? Nothing will change with getting mad at Mikako-chan. Rei-chan would be aware of this. Of course I know, and I also know that this isn't like me. But I'm more curious of you guys. Who can be so calm in a situation like right now? What are you trying to say? I'll call you later at night. Until then, do some investigation, will you? Rei-chan. Since when has Mikaru become so emotional? This day is becoming the weirdest of all. The story we didn't hear last night. Is that it? Mikaru knows the story. And we don't know. Does this make us different? Are you saying it's serious enough for Rei-chan to be so mad like that? I don't know. We have no way of knowing. But this makes feel uneasy for some reason. Mikaru showed an emotional behavior, telling us to follow her. When I looked at her in the eyes, she seemed to be shaking a little. Let's focus on what we can do now. It's important to stay positive in mind. Oh, now I'm back to full speed. We had a glitch there for a while where I was just slow. Oh, Tyra was right in front of her room. Okay. Unfortunately, I did all of Tyra's events in the previous one. And they don't, if you do in the original build, and if you do all of Tyra's events, it doesn't help you with the trial mini games. It just allows you to get other characters' underwear, I believe. So you want to see what their underwear looks like. She's useful, otherwise she's not. Oh, can I get the student handbook? No, here's it if I can't. Like, my escape key doesn't work. In this, so I can't, like, pull up the student handbook. don't know if that's a glitch or what. Which means if I complete all of a certain character's free time events, I still can't, like, read the notes on them. Hoping Teruya's not in a classroom. Probably not the gym. I checked their I did this on the original build. Fifth floor is the best bet. Ray. No, he's not up here. Great, that makes this hard. It's like, surely, Leans, you didn't hide. Teruya in some crazy... specific oddball classroom. Like, he wouldn't be in here, would he? Or check this room, right? Probably. Ah, of course. Should check the antique store earlier. It's a good place to look for Teruya. Okay. Sunmu. Probably do another gold watch. I know that works. Oh, escape key works there. It just doesn't bring up the student handbook. I presume he likes it. Okay, here goes the event. Okay. Time to do fast typing. There's going to be a lot of encoding pausing going on here. Well, never mind. This is... I don't have to go up to town. It's like Osa Maeda. Who cares? Got to do this one, though. Okay, this is similar to... I want to say something special just to Maeda, who will solve this problem with me. The problem is I don't know if it's problem. There's if you can see my cursor here. This character here is like not a character. I know it's a consonant, but it's hard to tell which consonant it's supposed to be because it's so crushed. I could try guessing different things. Try to work around what exactly is the faulty consonant. I have something special I want to say to Maeda, who will face this challenge together with me. Maybe that's closer. I don't know. Okay, so yes question, and the rest I'm going to have to type in. So it's something like, is there anything in particular you want to do? Which might be something, might be, is there anything particular you want me to do? Maybe. Okay. Okay, Google Translate says something like, oh, the trend these days is for school uniforms to be like fashion, isn't it? Is that the school uniform that Maeda is wearing now? Which probably more accurately would be, the trend these days is that school uniforms are in fashion. Is that a school uniform you're wearing now? Okay, Google Translate says, I wore this to school before. When I entered Homespeak Academy and received a school uniform, I was planning on wearing it, but that would be impossible in the current situation, right? Well, as far as I understand, Homespeak Academy didn't actually have a uniform in the commercial Danganronpa. Okay, Google Translate says something like, I want to go out and give Maeda the latest trendy school uniform he is currently wearing. Which, I don't really understand what that means, because if he's currently wearing it, then why would he need another one? I guess he wants to give him a redundant copy? I don't know. Next line. Oh, there's just more to that previous line. And the extra bit is, but unfortunately, it's a waste of time now. Okay, Google Translate will give you a translation error if you continue the ... But it's something close to, I appreciate Otori's feelings, but I'm so glad I don't have a school uniform right now. Now, who would want to wear a school uniform with an odd fashion sense? Well, I thought he did have a school uniform. What else was he wearing? I'm definitely not getting this point here. Continuing. And the extra text is there anyone who wears something like that as a trend in the first place? Okay, next. Okay, Otori says, if I say something like this, Maeda might be in a really bad mood, but... Something like Maeda's school uniform sense is too chestnut-like, so it seems to be going out of style. Okay. And he says, I like to wear my school uniform plainly, so I'm wearing this. Let's see what the suggestion is. Okay, yep, that's correct. Neatly. So I wore it like this, something like that. Oh, goodness. You know, Fui, I give up. So, yeah, the reason, okay, here's what I was trying to do here, if you were wondering, was, I was like, well, I'm going to have to go back through and do everybody's free time events all over again, right? And I consider doing that right after I finish the daily life and daily life of Chapter 5 on the original build. It's like, okay, gone through all of the possible opportunities you have to do free time events. And so for all the free time events I didn't get an opportunity to do during that time, I'll just go back to saves I made in the previous chapters and just do them in previous chapters. And Teruria's you can do in Chapter 5. Well, but I'm about to do Teruria's on the Zephirum build. I'm about to do the Zephirum build Chapter 5. I could try to do Teruria's on the Zephirum build like I tried to do Otori's. But I don't know near enough Korean to understand really any of this. And so I have to type it into Google Translate manually. You could try opening this stuff in RPG Maker, but I don't have a copy of RPG Maker. I never bought it. And then you could extract the text out of it. But I don't have any way of extracting text out of the Zephirum build otherwise. As I demonstrated my first episode of the Zephirum build, whatever that was, I couldn't get that to work. So because I can't extract this text, I have to, copy it by typing it in. Well, my typing speed for Korean is as slow as maybe someone who's been typing for, I don't know, a couple weeks. Because I just haven't had enough typing practice in Korean. I haven't played like microtype in Korean, started with the home row and build up, did all that stuff I did in elementary school and middle school to get my relatively fast English typing speed. So it takes a long time for me to type this in. I don't hop and peck, my hands are in a good position, and I remember where on the keyboard each letter is, I don't have to look at the keyboard. But it's still really slow. So it just takes forever, and I have other things I have to do in my life. I can't just spend all of my life typing in Korean stuff. I tend to brag about my patience. I say I have tremendous patience. And that might be true sometimes, and it might not be true. But I don't think I have the patience, enough patience, even me, to type all of this in. So I think I'll just hang this up at this point and just kind of punch through Teruria's, or anybody's at this point, it doesn't matter, because I'm just going to punch through them to get through the free time event sections and not worry about this text. And then go in the original build where I can extract the text, do the free time events after the fact, which might be like a year after I complete this game. Because if you know how this worked with Danganronpa Blowback, I still haven't finished the free time events on Blowback. It takes me a while to do the free time events. Like, it's always like I complete the main story rather quickly. Then all of the extra stuff I have to do to experience all the content usually is like I slowly dribble that out afterwards. Familiar with how my Let's Play structures tend to work. So I'll slowly probably dribble out going through the free time events I didn't get while playing the main story later. And I won't try to do any of that on the Zephirum build. I just don't have the patience for this, typing all of this stuff. So I'll just keep going. If you wanted to experience that, sorry. Yeah, Teruya's not a very interesting character anyway. Okay, rant order over 2 hours in. I just gotta get through it. I don't know what I just did there. Okay, so I just gotta punch. I have to type all of this. Oh no. This would have not worked. His card's been updated in the student handbook, which I can't view for some reason. Yeah, I still can't view the student handbook. It's another reason not to do all of them and do all of them in the other build, because I can't view the student handbook in this build for some reason. Check the dorms first. Oh, I know what Teru's skill is. That's why, even though I'm, not gonna read what his events actually say. I still want to do the same character. Cause I want to commit to a character. I don't know if it'll help me during the trial at all. Probably Kinjo's is really helpful during the trial. I just haven't ever done it. I guess I better check the 5th floor first, because the new floor is always more likely, right? Found you. At least I'm documenting where he is on all these events. So when I do them I can rewatch this video when I do them on the original build and know where to find him each time. Or it's just the first opportunity he's in the library, the second one he's in the shop, and the third one he's in the director's office. You're gonna have so many golden watches. Imagine typing all of this in. Okay. Just like yesterday when it was nighttime, Mikaru called us together. You get it now? I said it many times now, but we can't stay long. It'll probably be shorter than yesterday because Monokuma was starting to notice the existence of this room. And more each time. Now maybe this will be the last time we're meeting in my room. Well, what do we do then in the future? For now on, maybe there is nothing else to talk about anymore. What? It's nothing. If it's a matter of the room, don't worry. I will try to make a new jamming suitable device in its place. Okay, more importantly right now, is this about the second piece of information when Makaru was cut off yesterday? That's right. What was it that Ray-chan was so worried about? I felt uncomfortable in that moment. It was like the line of the self-esteem at the sky limit. I thought Akane was going to say, "Aren't you worried?" I thought she was going to say it aloud, but unexpectedly Makaru just quietly drew her breath. Listen carefully. I remember what you found about the Kisaragi Foundation, right? The same building. It's the place we're stuck in right now. The same building? We aren't at Hope's Peak Academy? No. What? This is not Hope's Peak Academy. What? Are you kidding me? This isn't Hope's Peak Academy? Isn't the first fact that we each entered... The first fact that we each entered this building was Hope's Peak Academy originally? That's true. Ray-chan said it that too. We found a guidebook from Hope's Peak Academy, and the structure of the building was the same, too. Now, at that time, I only knew this, but that wasn't it. What in the world do you mean, Makaru? Why do you think that? What's this? Paper? Hope's Peak Academy brochure. Found on the 5th floor. This is the structure of the 2nd and 5th floors. What? As Makaru says, it was a brochure that showed the structure of Hope's Peak Academy. It seemed to be the rest of the 1st floor schematic that Makaru discovered on the first day we were here. As you guys said, the 1st floor of this building is identical to the one I found earlier. So I had doubts that this was Hope's Peak Academy. I didn't have doubts that this was Hope's Peak Academy. But that was my mistake. If you take a good look at that brochure, Hope's Peak Academy brochure, just by looking at the first chapter, the structure diagram of the 2nd floor, we were able to understand the meaning of Makaru's words. What the classrooms and library, and a pool. There was no pool, right? Not only that, there's no power room in this document either. Looking back at the anxiety was slowly rising. I looked at the structural diagram of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th floors in turn. Do you understand that this place is not Hope's Peak Academy? Unbelievable. According to the Hope's Peak Academy brochure, the structure is as follows. On the 2nd floor, there are classrooms, a library, and a swimming pool. The swimming pool is equipped with changing rooms and fitness equipment. On the 3rd floor, there are classrooms, a lounge, an art room, and a physics preparation room. The lounge is equipped with entertainment such as mini billiards and darts. The 4th floor, there are classrooms, facility offices, the headmaster's office, information processing room, music room, and a chemistry lab. And in the last 5th floor, there are classrooms, a biology room, a natural farm, and an archery dojo. Yeah, it's like, at first you thought they were different because this was just a fan game. In my fan universe, Hope's Peak Academy was just laid out differently. But, like, it's leveraging the differences between the layout in the fan game and the layout in the original commercial game as plot. There are similar facilities, but most of them are different. Even if the 5th floor is a completely different facility, then this isn't really Hope's Peak Academy? Now, I'm not sure with only just this alone, because the surveillance cameras were turned into a machine gun. Isn't there a possibility that the mastermind transformed the entire school? Of course, this isn't the only thing. Did you really expect it would be that I would be easy on you? The brochure merely gave the final blow to the things that have been questioned. The things left as questions? There were quite a few. Where to begin? The first question I had when the 2nd floor was first opened. I was with Maeda back then, so you'd remember. What Monokuma said in the power room. Power room. You mean that Hope's Peak Academy can't get energy from the outside? Correct. Isn't that strange? The Hope's Peak Academy that's located in the middle of Tokyo, for some reason cannot receive energy from the outside any longer? Even if we assume that the outside world is a mess due to the greatest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, wouldn't there be enough safety devices, such as a minimum power, reserve power? But nevertheless, Monokuma said it was impossible. From this point on, I began to feel a little uneasy about this. Also, looking at the library and school's office, there are no books that could be found in normal schools. It's all just papers and dictionaries. Kinjo also mentioned that, when the 4th floor opened and examined the office. It was the same when Yuhara found Maki's cell phone, and it was out of range. It's strange considering the location of Hope's Academy. No way. The biggest question is still the appearance of the 5th floor. There were classrooms up until the 4th floor, but the 5th floor is a billion of light years away from the school. You've seen it all, haven't you? Crucially, the structure of the 5th floor is very similar to the power room on the 2nd floor. Don't you think it's right to see that the original 5th floor was renovated for the school? On the contrary to the school itself, was renovated? Then really, this isn't really Hope's Peak Academy? I can't say for 100% certainty, but there is a high probability we were kidnapped from Hope's Peak Academy and mistakenly thought this building, which had a similar appearance to Hope's Peak. If it's not Hope's Peak Academy, where are we then? Where do you think you are? A mark that we've seen countless times in this building until now. And where would you have that technology to renovate a building of this magnitude? You don't mean the Kisaragi Foundation. The Kisaragi Foundation, or a building owned by the Foundation, is highly improbable. The mastermind that imprisoned us is a member of the Kisaragi Foundation also? But then, Yamato Kisaragi, that person is the mastermind? I don't know. Considering the hypothesis of the memory loss, everything becomes a mess, whether they are the ultimate super high school level student or whatever. Even if you are God, it becomes impossible to find out the truth. That she's using as a proper name, it should be an uppercase God. Besides, the fact that there is no energy supply and there's no signal areas outside, it means there is a high possibility that it's a place far away from a city. With the current notion, I have no clue. The more I find out, the more desperate I get. Maybe it's best if we just get out of here. Maybe we can survive. Why are you doing this, Makaru? What? Is that the extent of your ability? You said you were confident that you could cooperate, but now you're just trying to give up on this despair? Don't be ridiculous, Maeda. I didn't even say a word about giving up. I'm not so sure about that. Being so discouraged is already halfway thinking like that. You were so angry this morning, so I was worried you might be getting pressured. Is this 100% the Makaru who's always shouting at us, hanging her shoulders and drooping all over the floor, the real deal? Have you finished talking, huh, Yuki Maeda? You two, what's wrong? Stop it. Why are you trying to fight? The situation is different now than when I shouted. You're just leaning on me now. And when you get nervous, you pass the responsibility on to me. And now you're only seeing me whining? That's wrong. Even though I was surprised by the current facts, I haven't given up, and I have no intention of giving up. I haven't despaired yet. You're scared to be so angry, aren't you? If you don't know a thing, shut the hell up, Maeda. I'm saying this with all the more reason because I've faced the situation. Now, even after hearing the despairing facts, I think that it is a courageous act to say nothing is wrong. But that itself is reckless and stupid, not courageous, you stupid beggar. Realistically speaking, it is no different than committing suicide to just bump into each other like a fool, knowing that there is no more information and there are no more answers to the situation we're facing right now. Or what else? Are you saying that you found out the mastermind and found a trump card to overcome this? No, I don't know. You don't know any. No, I don't know anything, but I'm also not reckless. I don't mean to give up. Nothing will change if you get discouraged just because you don't have an answer. Before Kisaragi showed up, where did Makaru go? You can't catch the mastermind with such despair in you. After this far, did you hear what I said up until now? These are the two things I found out. After putting together all the information I found up to this moment, in other words, putting all the clues together, all we've found is that we may be amnesiacs, and that this isn't Hope's Peak Academy. This is it. It's all over. There are no more clues. All up to the 5th floor, which is the last floor, has already been opened. In order for the locked ones to be unlocked, someone has to go and clear a class trial. But since I promised to get out of here with you guys, no more murder should happen. Or what? Do you want a murder to happen? That's not what I mean. The only hope. Mikako Kugurukawa doesn't tell us anything. Aren't you angry when you guys say, let's work together? When you have to figure it out, even if we need to rush through? If you want to say something to me, do it after you figure out something to fix the situation yourself. Don't speak nonsense in your mouth without knowing anything, you stupid fool. What, you guys are fighting now? Monokuma. Rip Textbox. Great, he had to come anyways. I don't have anything more to say now, so y'all get out. Don't even come into my room anymore. Raychan? Hey, sorry if this is a bad moment. Surveillance camera, I mean. It doesn't seem like it's a malfunction. What the hell do I care, you... Okay! Get out of my room. It's funny how, like, Zephyrum decided to censor the S word, but not the F word. Which is kind of backwards, because you could make an argument that the S word should not be a profanity. Because it's just an ancient way of saying poop, right? But the F word I don't think is an... Oh, you Google it. Origin of that. 16th century Germanic origin. Possibly Indo-European root meaning strike. Shared by Latin pugnus fix, fist. What? False etymologies. Oh my goodness, there's all kinds of stuff you could read about this. Huh. Interesting. It may not have necessarily meant like fisting at some point, okay? There's so much to read there, I'm not gonna pause and read stuff. Maybe I'll come back to this later. Yeah, the term was usually neutral, used without vulgar connotation. Yeah, it's just the old way of saying poop. So, if you were to like, it's definitely like less of a bad word, right? You can argue it shouldn't be a bad word. Anyway. Gah, scary. Makaru, I'll just say this. Hope is not something you find, but something you create. Don't forget. Makaru kicked us all out and locked her door. Looking at her attitude, I think she's going to distance herself from us again from tomorrow. We won't be able to enter Makaru's room anymore. Did we said something wrong? I fully understand Makaru's words and feelings. As Makaru said, even if we summarize all the information we have obtained since then, the conclusions comes out. Of course, those two conclusions are neither a clue to escape nor a clue to the mastermind. Rather, it was a fact that made us more confused in our minds. But it is fine to just be angry and discouraged by that. Of course, Makaru is also a human. I understand that she could get angry or nervous, but I don't know what to do anymore. It's nighttime, so let's go to sleep. I'll think much better afterwards. Amnesia. The Kisaragi Foundation. This is an Hope's Week Academy. Confused information, and Makaru's angry face kept glimmering around her eyes. Her feelings grew so intense that we had a serious fight with Makaru. Akane and Teruya couldn't properly say whether Makaru's hypothesis was correct or not. It was too shocking. Keijo still doesn't show any signs of waking up either. For this, Satsuki didn't save just to be like this. I forcibly calmed my unsettled heart and tried to fall asleep. Rise and shine or sign. In the blink of an eye, it's morning already. I was really upset last night. I should go eat first. Breakfast time. The people in the dining hall were Akane, Teruya, Kisaragi, and me. Only the four of us. Mikaru didn't come as expected. Rei-chan was here, a little before Maeda-kun came here. Really? Yeah, as soon as I arrived, she just took the food out of the kitchen and left. I called her, but she left with us without looking back, telling us to investigate on our own. She must have been very upset about yesterday. But I still don't think it's Maeda-kun's fault. I can't determine whose was it, but I really don't think it was anyone's fault. But if Mikaru goes away from us again, it's going to be hard to be together. Can we really do this by ourselves? I'm sorry, Teruya. It's because of me. I'm not blaming you, Yuki. I thought yesterday Mikaru was a little strange, too. What should we do from now on? I'm asking because I'm worried about this. Rei-chan is obviously nervous. We've never gotten closer to her this much, but I can tell she has a great sense of responsibility. Even when she was eating alone, she has done more thorough investigation than anyone else to escape from here. She even promised to live together and escape with us. In the end, all the information that we worked so hard to find was useless, because it was even more desperate information. Mikaru felt a sense of being reasonable. Of being... I can't read that. Responsible. There we go. Oh, that was hard to do. Mikaru felt a sense of being responsible. I shouted so loudly at her without knowing Mikaru's feelings like that. Oh, seriously, Maeda-kun, why are you blaming yourself again? As I said over and over, Maeda-kun is not wrong. Thanks, but even if it's no one's fault, there's still responsibility to take. Mikaru has left us again. It's okay, even if Mikaru continued to help in the current situation, there wouldn't be much to do anyway. And in the end, we're back to square one. I guess some things aren't going so well. Monokuma? Don't just jump out of the seat next to me. What are you doing? What are you here for? Well, a few days ago, I thought you were going to come up with a powerful return. It seems it was just an image back in that court. That's just pointless meddling. Disappear already. Oh, that's Yuki. This is pointless meddling. Disappear already. Hey, don't you like that so much? It's not bad to eat with someone else, you know. Recently, I don't know what you've been doing in Mikaru's room lately. Surveillance camera hasn't caused any abnormalities since yesterday, and I'm going to go over it in more detail, especially since I've been suspecting some things. Well, it doesn't really matter. If you find something out of a broken camera, I don't have to worry about a thing looking at that mood you guys are in right now. I get it. The method of trying to separate us like that has already become unsatisfyingly long. Long time ago, alright? The taste of the food has become lacking, so why don't you get out? If you got nothing else to do... A deep kick. I didn't come here for nothing. I don't have anything to do with you guys, but I'm just here to check on Kisaragi-kun's condition. Kisaragi? Kisaragi-kun, how's your body? No problem, the food melts. Due to the winding taste of the esophagus? I don't get it. The honey guest has swallowed a pleasant feeling. Looking good. How's your mood? I thought you'd be pretty nervous. What do I think? I wonder if I'll be okay. The last thing to offer said that kid. Hey, how confident can you be? It's questionable whether that'll change anything. Even if it's only one. You have a secret trick, Kisaragi-kun. That's interesting. I come and see. Anytime. But it wins the game without defeat. Good. Your role as a transfer student could be more appropriate. Well then, let's see what happens next. What was that? Now he's gone. Well, I don't even know what Kisaragi is saying. In my eyes, it looked like Monokuma and Kisaragi were checking each other. Is it bad between them? If Kisaragi is the mastermind, shouldn't he be in good terms with Monokuma? I don't know. We probably won't be able to know that no matter how many times we think about it. It's better not to pay attention to them. There's no Mekaru, Kurokawa is avoiding us, and Kijo is still fainted. It's just the three of us, but I don't think we should give up just yet. Let's continue investigating the school as we always have done. Hope is something we create with our own hands. Yeah, I agree. My Anakin is cheering us, so I'll do my best. I don't know if I can do it, but I'll try. I'll find something. I'll let you guys know. Mekaru distanced herself from us, but the investigation will still continue. We can never give up for our friends who have died so far. Don't give up until you can't muster any more power. Morning. Up. Landed right on him. Done. My last watch. Why'd that just dead end me? Did I already finish his free time events? Phew, I searched the 5th floor carefully, but there was no more clues in it. One locked door in the records room that opens only when you enter a password. If we can get in there, maybe we'll find something new. What? Did I just hear the door closing from the ballroom? I'll have to check. Kinjo. Kinjo, wait a minute. You're awake? Well, he ignored me and left. Didn't he hear me? Kinjo just went out of the ballroom. When did he wake up? Rather, why'd you go to the ballroom? No, you would need to look out for your body first. He's been lying in bed for almost 3 days. First, rather than pushing too hard, let's watch the situation for a moment. If I get a chance later at night, I'll tell the others about it. Okay, I'm out of gold watches, I believe. See if a man's romance works. Goggles probably also works, but I guess it does. He looks happy. Here we go. He's going to his room, like you usually do at the last free time event. I was gonna hand type all of this. Okay, it's called Beachy Niche. Let's see if I can Google Translate that. Just the B. I got Roman characters on. Let's try again. Beachy Niche. That's how fast I can type it, if you're wondering. Business. Okay, so the skill is business. I don't know what it does though. I just know it's called business. Sorry, close to nighttime. I want to sleep already. Nothing has been found today, but let's not be discouraged. The most important thing is to not give up. Surely find something tomorrow. And I think about it. I have to tell everyone that Kinjo is awake. I forgot. It's best to talk when we all get together. Tomorrow's breakfast probably is best. If I go a little earlier, then I can meet Mikaru. By the way, huh? What, there's a piece of paper on the floor. As soon as you see this, please meet me at the gym with everyone. Tsurugi. Kinjo? At some point, a note like this caused a murder. 1 minute. Hey, have you received a letter from Kinjo? Mikaru too? I just came into my room and checked it out. That bastard, what the hell is he thinking? About that, I was originally going to say it at breakfast tomorrow, but I actually saw Kinjo coming out of the ballroom earlier. It seems he's been awake for a while. What, the ballroom? Why did he go there again? He asked me about the current situation. Did you know what that Kinjo woke up? Did you talk to him? I was surprised too. He woke up suddenly without any warning and asked me to tell him what happened after he passed out with his dying eyes. I only told briefly the circumstances. Is he okay? Calling us out at such a late hour, what do you think? If he sent a letter to Mikaru, the other guys... Wait, are you certain you saw him coming out of the ballroom? Yeah. I called him out, but I don't think he noticed me. Let's go to the gym. Only bring Teruya and Akane. Maybe he's thinking nonsense, that guy. What? Do as I say. It's not a matter of rushing or sleeping right now. Go to Akane. I'll tell Teruya. Maeda, what about Tyra? I don't know. She wasn't in a room, was she? Are you guys getting along? And all of a sudden, I thought we were gonna get cut off. This is noisy. I don't have time to explain in detail right now. Let's find Tyra later and continue alone. We have to hurry. Okay. What are you guys doing together there? Kane, where have you been? I've been investigating the 5th floor since this morning. Because I was determined today and decided to keep investigating except when I went to eat. That might be important for the murder, I don't know. In the end, there wasn't much to search, but still, I'm sorry. That's fine. Don't follow me quickly. Just follow me quickly. Suddenly to where? It looks like the crazy cop has woken up. Hurry up. And Mikaru's decision, Akane and Teruya joined. We decided to go to the gym. Because Mikaru is in such a hurry, I started to get anxious for no reason. What are you trying to do, Kinjo? Kinjo? Maeda, you're here, and the others too. Kinjo-kun calling us at such a late hour. Moreover, I thought you were just woke. So what? Your face. It's all dark. What happened? Kinjo, is that what you're holding right now? I thought it was just a special effect. What else? It's a gun. Gun? Maeda said that he saw you coming out of the ballroom. In fact, you went to the arsenal, didn't you? Arsenal? Was the ballroom still open? I needed this. All of you, it's more of a decision. Together with Makaru. It was something I could not have imagined until now, long ago when I was completely broken. Everyone, you've gotten stronger, unlike me. What are you talking about, Kinjo? You're strong. The strongest among us, isn't it? It's you, Kinjo. No, I'm weak, a weak piece of scum. Kinjo-kun, why are you doing this? Since you are in the ballroom, you've been weird. Your mind has broken, huh? Makaru? The ideology has been observing and adhering to all his life. Death can only be the same as death. A criminal is only a criminal, no matter the story. No matter the circumstances, no matter what, and there is no compromise. For this guy, Satsuki and Haruhiko must have been quite a shock, because they killed themselves in order to save others. Meaning the beliefs he had believed in were destroyed by Haru and Satsuki, and his mind is also destroyed? That's right, to be honest, even I was surprised by their willpower of sacrifice. Anyway, you just restored your consciousness. Are you trying to kill us with a gun now? Are you that crazy and trying to give up now? What, again? Kinjo, do you want to do the same thing you did in the ballroom again? Am I wrong, Tsurugi Kinjo? Don't shut up now and say something. It is as Makaru said, but only 25% was correct. What? It is as you said, Satsuki and Haruhiko's actions were incomprehensible. Even more, since Kinji Uehara's execution, I've been constantly reflecting on my own thoughts. Actually, I was feeling it vaguely. It's like my thinking was strange. I was just trying to rationalize myself by using the false excuse of protecting everyone. As a result, many people have died, because of my garbage thoughts all this time. The others who I was able to protect were also put to death. So, what do you want to say? Even if you realize your mistake now, will the dead people come back? Makaru, don't keep irritating Kinjo. The one who's suffering the most right now is Kinjo. No, there's nothing wrong with Makaru's words. I'm responsible for what I've done. Until now, and that responsibility is so heavy. That's why I have to atone. Kinjo, what are you? Kinjo held the pistol he was holding upside down and aimed it at his forehead. You are going to die? Even though I don't think this will be enough of an atonement for sure. At least I can't live and breathe on the lives of the people who died because of me. Because I am a murderer. Kinjo can wake up, you're not a murderer. I mean, the killer was me. I stabbed Kizuna-chan. I ran away in that state and even made Yame-chan die. It was me. So come back to your usual self, Kinjo-kun. Taira, I said a lot of harsh things to you too. But think about it, I wasn't really in a position to say that to you. Don't apologize, you're not being yourself now. You stupid bastard, do you think something like this will change anything? Did you just call us to show something so stupid? Or is it that fun to watch? This has to be done in front of you, because I have to atone for you too. Kuokawa isn't here? Kinjo, please come to your senses. We are no longer at the ballroom. Satsuki left us with hope, which means they don't want you to do this either. That's right, rather than taking your own life, revealing the true nature of the mastermind, and punishing them is the true meaning of atonement. Suicide is just an escape from reality. I'm different from you guys. I can't change my mind so casually like that. I can't understand you. Why are you thinking that way? You just realized your own mistake. If you know you're mistaken, you just have to prevent that from happening in the future. No, it won't be so simple. For normal people, it would, but for this guy, the idea of a crime is the same as his own identity. In other words, the ideology that has been adhered to is destroyed. It is no different from denying one's own existence. Their existence is denied. Makaru said something like that a few days ago. The hypothesis that if we were in the state of lost memory, then she might have been the mastermind all along. When you realize that you are the mastermind, you would deny the existence that you had believed in. According to Makaru, the current state of Kinjo is no different from hers. Of course, your existence being denied is terrifying. It's terrifying, hopeless, because you're not who you say you are. But even so, don't be stupid, Tsurugi Kinjo. Don't try to die. No one in this world has to die. What do you think about human life is for, huh? Maeda is right, no one deserves to die. But I sold those people and made them kill. Higa. There was intent to kill from the start, but the murder was induced by Monokuma's motive. Had he not been involved in such an incident, he would have lived a good life as a promising soccer player. Hatano. To prevent her friend from becoming the Blackened, she sacrificed herself instead. In fact, it's not an exaggeration to say that she confessed from the very beginning, like Satsuki. Yuhara. He was threatened by Monokuma, and he had no choice but to kill to save the children's lives, trying to throw away the minority for the sake of many. Everyone committed murders, but no one was truly evil in the end. I dismissed the result of committing murder and judged it as evil, even after death. They all died tragically, unfairly, and horribly. I can't be the only one alive after this. This is the only atonement I can make. I think the time has come to end it now. Everyone, I'm sorry. You guys have to stay alive. Stay alive and leave the school. Kinjo, don't mess with me. What is this atonement? Damn it. No one wants you to die that way. Don't be so smug without knowing anything. What you're doing right now is just running away, turning your eyes from the painful reality. You're not garbage and you're not pathetic. Maeda, in the end it doesn't matter. It's not a difficult situation. If only I was an ordinary student and not the super high school level police officer. Could I have been friends with everyone? Kinjo, stop. Joe. No one could open their mouths anymore. It was so sudden. So simply, Kinjo pulled the trigger. There was no time to stop it. Is this a lie?
A body has been discovered. At a certain amount of time passed, a class trial will begin.
A body discovery announcement? Body, you say? That Kinjo, there's no way, right?
Oh my, what is this? I can't believe that Kinjo-kun is dead.
Monokuma?
Once the body is found, I rang the broadcast. Well, this is not a case or anything too complex. There's no sense in having a class trial. He just died with by his own hands.
He didn't. Huh? He's not dead. Kinjo isn't dead. Maeda? Maeda-kun is foreshadowing the concept that Monokuma could get it wrong. Is that what this is? Is that the whole point of this? Because, like, I know this scene has to be really important for the trial and the case somehow. So Kinjo's suicide thing. But it seems so completely unrelated. Kinjo isn't dead. I mean, Kinjo isn't the type of person to die like this.
Maeda-kun, I understand how you feel, but don't waste your breath.
You can't live after putting a bullet on your own head, right? This is a fact, of course. Even if you don't check, unless you have the perfect ability like a white-haired boy, have the reflexed ability like a white-haired boy, whatever that means, he isn't dead yet. Kinjo will survive. Kinjo is not dead. Stop it, Maeda. It's already over. We wouldn't understand his heart, and we couldn't stop him. That's just it. Don't be ridiculous. Kinjo is not dead. We can't send Kinjo away like this. Fool, see for yourself. You have already... But can you admit it? Look, his heart stopped. Just like this. Stopped. It's not. His heart is beating. What? Excuse me. Huh, he's alive, Kinjo-kun? Anything is fine. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's get Kinjo treatment. But should I allow this? Don't talk bullshit and get the treatment right away, Monokuma. Are you going to leave us alone like in Kurokawa's state? I can't help it, actually. I don't want to hold a class trial like this. Fine, I'll pick up the patient to the Monokuma General Hospital. Everyone hurry up to the recovery room. Monokuma, what happened? Kinjo? Well, it's a real shocker. Result of my diagnosis was the bullet that Kinjo-kun used was defective. As a result, the bullet smashed the skull and caused minimal damage to the brain. In the end, it didn't damage any important parts of the brain. That means he's okay? Kinjo-kun is alive? Well, then, this is what Dr. Monokuma guarantees. Since I did the surgery right away and passed the turning point, his life is no longer in danger. Thank God. I'm really glad. Well, that was an uppercase God. He's got a long lifeline. Seriously, I can only say this is really lucky. No matter how bad the bullet was, it kept the muzzle from hitting the forehead and avoiding a fatal wound. Even more shocking, at short distance. I'm glad, I'm so glad. I don't want to see any of us die again. Well, I don't know if this is really lucky. What? I definitely said that his life was not in danger. It's just that what Kinjo-kun's life is going to be in the future. What do you mean? Explain in detail. What should I say? My condolences. The parts necessary for maintaining his life were unharmed, but the brain cells that maintain the cerebral memory were destroyed. I can't say for sure yet, but to put it simply, all his memories, abilities, personal skills that Kinjo has developed over the course of his own life may have been shattered into oblivion. What? One last thing, the fragments of the broken skull are stuck here and there. I extracted them safely, but even if he has survived this way, he has the potential to be a vegetable, which for some reason Zephirum translated to plant human. Either way, the situation is not a joke. I guess that's more literal. That's what the phrase is in Korean, plant person. But that is something that is okay to translate idiom for idiom, because English has just such a similar idiom. The idioms are so similar, you can actually substitute the idioms, and I would be okay with it. Usually I'm not, though. What is this ridiculous becoming a vegetable? Oh, there Zephirum says vegetable. Why would Zephirum, why would you type in something different both places? What the hell do you do this treatment? Did you do this treatment? How the hell did you do this treatment? Maeda quit it. It's not Monokuma's fault. In fact, saving his life is close to a miracle. But Kinjo is accidentally lobotomied, or intentionally. He tried to kill himself and instead just lobotomied himself. Maeda-kun, Yuki, there are things that just can't be helped. Nonsense. What is this? What the hell is this? It was all too sudden. No one would have wanted this. Did Kinjo really want something like this? I didn't have a clue. Guys! A body discovery announcement. What happened? Did it happen again? Mikako-chan. It's no big deal, don't worry about it. No one died. Monokuma was mistaken. Mistaken? Kinjo-kun put a gun to his head. I thought it was instant death for sure. He was lucky enough to not lose his life. I just finished the surgery in the infirmary. Kinjo did? Well now, I'm done, so I'll leave. Of course, since Kinjo-kun is still alive, there won't be a class trial, but you already know that. After that, we kept quiet and shaken with each other. To such a shocking reality, no one was able to talk. Makaru, who had been pursuing Kurokawa, also left Kurokawa in front of her eyes and went back to her room without saying a word. Kinjo is still alive, but he'd rather be dead. Why did this happen? Did we make a mistake? Why do we have to be the only ones to suffer things like this? I can't save the game because I can't bring up the context menu. I can't bring up the menu because the escape key doesn't work in this. So I have to keep playing until I get to the trial, or just leave the game running in the background on my computer and leave the computer on. That is such a Stagiliter thing to do, just leave the game just running when you can't save it. I'm trying to remember when I did that. It was something. I mean, there's probably a story there, but I can't remember it right now. I stopped thinking and forced myself to sleep as soon as I glanced at my bed. I slept as if trying to escape reality. I felt like all the hopes Satsuki gave us and our resolutions were all in vain. I don't want to do anything anymore. We don't have any clues about the mastermind. Even my friend is in a critical condition. Will it make a difference if I try even harder? What I've already done? In this despair, it's just excruciating. It shouldn't be like this. I know it's not okay. Rise and shine sign. I don't want to wake up. If I don't move like this, it'll no longer be irreversible. Hey, Yuki, come out. You okay? Teruya? I have to have my moment. What? You're here? I thought you were already gone. What's going on? I was about to go to the dining hall. No, you weren't. That's because I was worried about you. Worried? Kinjo was taken down. Besides, our relationship with Mikaru just went out the window. Everyone is having thoughts while having big shocking events in front of them. I'm worried about the others too, but I'm mostly worried about you, Maeda. I mean, I guess you were the closest one to Kinjo, weren't you? Was I? Did it look like that to the others? I thought Kinjo was the one friendly with me. Is that so? Did you know that your expression wasn't a joke when Kinjo looked like that yesterday? It looked like you were gonna commit suicide by following Kinjo. What? I won't do something like that. I know, it was a joke. For that reason, I came to check your condition this morning. I think I did well to come. Haven't you been thinking bad things since yesterday? Is it that easy to understand seeing my face? Yuki, I want you to keep your mind strong. If you give up, we're all in trouble. Teruya? I know this is not like me at all. Rather than reading too much on people, I'm the type to give up first. But I have Haruhiko, who's been alive at this time. I think he would have acted exactly as me now. You remember? Forcing you to smile and talking stupid things too? I don't if it was that encouraging, but you should try and refresh a little, relax for a bit. I was waiting in the dining room. Teruya, even though it was hard for you, as always crying and calling out his father's name, and as always Haruhiko in desperation, trying to make things funny and swearing at him. He's holding on to it. He clenches his teeth and tries to live on Haruhiko's will. And not just Teruya, Akane and Mikaru as well. I'm the only exception. Get your mind straight, Yuki Maeda. The truth is not far away. There's no such thing as an endless cycle. Let's not give up. Believing in that possibility, there has to be a way. Because that's all I can do. Morning. Oh, Kuokawa. Yuki. Good morning. Where are you heading? 5th floor, to investigate. Her attitude towards me and the way she speaks was the usual Kurokawa, but it felt like she was being wary of me. Not just me, Kurokawa's been in the state ever since she went out of her room. Kinjo is okay? How is he? I don't know for sure. For now, there doesn't seem to be any danger to his life, so I can only hope he wakes up healthy. In fact, it would be desperate to say that he might become a vegetable, due to the situation. It's Kurokawa who's more important right now. She was uncomfortable with each other we were uncomfortable with each other all day long, and even the incident with Kinjo was dismissed and we forgot about it. But it was still clear that Kurokawa knew something. Maybe it's because I made up my mind. It's only now that I understand Mikaru's feelings. In the current situation, where all breakthroughs are blocked and there is no hope, Kurokawa might know something, including the Kisaragi Foundation. Isn't her very own existence itself our only clue? Hey Kurokawa, you know... Turn back. What do you mean? I don't know anything. Even if you ask me, I don't think I'll listen to you. I haven't said anything yet. I can tell without you saying. Stop doubting me. I can't tell you anything. You can't hear anything. Annoying brat. Kurokawa, do you know our current situation? Yuki? Don't do this. We're colleagues. We've been investigating together. What kind of information are you trying to keep in secret so stubbornly? Go away. I don't know. How many times do I have to tell you? The last hope we have left is you, Kurokawa. Are you making fun of us now? Yuki, please. In a situation where there's no hope and yet everyone is trying to stay bright, not giving up, because the moment we get careless we'll end up being in despair. If you know something, tell me. If you don't even say in this situation you're treating us like idiots. Am I wrong? Please say something. Yuki, don't pretend you don't know. I'm tired of this. Because you know everything and you're gonna try to fool us? Are you going to leave us now? Answer me, Kurokawa. Yuki, it hurts. What did I do? Don't come near me. Kurokawa, wait a minute. What did I... It's not Kurokawa's fault that we're in this situation, but I'm blaming Kurokawa for not telling us something and putting us all the pressure on her. Even though I knew it, I said such harsh things to Kurokawa. Damn it. Why do things happen like this? Again, I can't save because I can't bring that up. I literally just can't save. Because of Kurokawa, my heart, which had barely calmed down, begins to shake again. It wouldn't be like this. Everyone is working hard, but I can't be the only one to fall into despair. Control your emotions. I'll definitely apologize to Kurokawa next time. I gotta keep working hard as well. Everything will be fine. He'll recover without a hitch, and we'll be able to find a clue. Stay bright as possible. Guys, good morning. Okay, just gotta blast through this dialogue. Guys, let's eat quickly. We need to go investigate. Yeah, of course we have to, but Maeda-kun, you seem very motivated for some reason. Really? Isn't that good? It's 100 times better than being saggy, haha. In my eyes, it looks like you're trying too hard. That's not it. By the way, I thought Mikara wouldn't be around. Are we eating together again? Don't be stupid. It's just that I'm late to breakfast, so my timing just messed up with you guys. If I keep up with your pace, I won't be able to get out of here forever. But whatever, we've decided to work together for once, because Kinjo is like that too. He needs to hurry up and get back on shape. If he comes to his senses and listens to us, back to cooperate. Really? I thought Ray-chan would definitely get mad and never talk to us again. Don't get me wrong. As long as you hit a wall, there are limits to what you can do on your own. Oh, I see. I only heard the information Makaru knew, but now it's a different day. In a state of not knowing anything together makes us work together to investigate. This is amazing. We wouldn't give up without being fed up with despair, but still, good things happen. Kinjo didn't wake up, Kurokawa didn't confess, and we didn't find any clues. But it was definitely a good thing that we could get back together. Mannequin, why are you laughing all of a sudden? Nothing, I'm kinda happy. Explain yourself, you bastard. After roughly eating, we now gather to decide on what to do in the future before we continue the investigation to investigate again. First, as long as we know that all the information we got so far is useless, we have no way to collect information from now. I forgot to read before moving on to the next line. New information? But to round off a little bit, it's already been a month since we are like this. We've been only able to investigate this much. But will we be able to find something? Investigating as usual? Of course, nothing is easy. So first of all, we have to sort out certain information. Wait. Is it okay to wait for a minute? What, stop talking? No, that's not it. I mean, surveillance camera. Oh, that's right. We're still... What do? Maybe first to Ray-chan's room? I said my room wasn't going to be used anymore, right? And don't worry, fools. Do you really think I wasn't prepared for anything? Not prepared for anything. As Mikaru said that, she pulled out a sloppy switch from her pocket that had multiple circuits shown. What's that? This is a portable version of the jamming device I used in my room. You can make whatever room you wish with just a push of a button by sending the jammer to the nearest camera. That's incredible. Ray-chan, you surprise me every time. I didn't think Ray-chan would be a super ice level inventor too. How do you make these? I only know just how to make these. There are parts overflowing here and there. If you understand the principle of cameras and an eavesdropper, you came this to a level of an ununiversity class. Ununiversity class. Okay, Zephirum, let me explain something here. Yes, the rule is it's on if the word coming after it starts with a vowel. And it's A if the noun proceeding starts with a consonant. However, it's a vowel sound or a consonant sound, not a vowel or consonant spelling. So, university, I know it starts with the letter U, but when you pronounce it, it's yeah, university. It's a Y sound, which in Y in that context is behaving like a conjugate. So, to a native English speaker, un-university sounds awkward. It's a university. A university class, even though we're still in high school? Anyway, we can talk freely. But it'll be a matter of time before Monokuma notices soon. Okay, going back to what we were talking about, you said you found solid information? Yeah, it says, Tyra says there are no more clues left in this building anymore. No matter how much you've been running around looking for them, there won't be anything extra to find. Meaning from now on, we have no choice but to pick the rest of the clues that are considered remaining and come to clear them up in one go. What are those clues? One time I mentioned it before again and again. There are some facts only Kurokawa knows. Mikako-chan is one of those clues. Maybe she knows the full story of this incident we're caught up in. She could be the only one who knows that much important information. However, for some reason, she doesn't want to tell us. She's been clinging to tenaciously, make it go away. She just keeps avoiding us more and more. I felt the same way when I met Kurokawa a little before coming to the dining hall. Because of my impatience, I apologized that I had done something wrong to her. Well, to her. But now we have to focus on thinking about the measures. At this point, you might think that it's not that she doesn't tell, it's that she really can't. In any case, relying on her is no longer a wasted effort. Or is? So what? There's no way anyone else knows anything about it? Are you sure? Huh? There is one, the person who's eating breakfast over there. Kisaragi-kun. Isn't it obvious? It's almost certain that the Kisaragi Foundation is involved in this crime. And he's from the Kisaragi family. But the problem is about his head having issues. There won't be a conversation at all, right? Do you guys have a serious conversation with this guy? He might be weird, but from my point of view, that guy is perfectly normal. I don't understand a little bit. I think I understand a little bit. But do we really not know anything? Besides, if the amnesia really is there, as Makaru says. That's just an assumption. Moreover, nothing will change unless you try. Shouldn't we be looking at all possible methods? You're right. So, it's Mikako Kurokawa who has reached the peak of her alertness. Let's put her aside for a moment and let's hear something from him first. Mikaru, as you say that you're gonna run straight at him? We don't have time to mess around. In the first place, there's a limit to the jamming of the surveillance cameras, and we should move as soon as possible. So, I don't know if you heard us, Yamato Kisaragi. Shall we talk for a moment? Are you listening? Mekaru? What? Yuki, Akane, Teruya? What? Kisaragi-kun? Something seems off. Mikako? What happened to you all of a sudden? What are you trying to say? Where is Mikako? How am I supposed to know? Don't go screaming and making a mess. Mikako Kurokawa, you mean? If it's her, I met her a while ago. She said she was going to the 5th floor to investigate. What's going on? Kisaragi-kun, didn't he suddenly seem normal just now? Yeah, I noticed it too. Hey, let's go after him now. Why, Mikaru? Stop idling around. Something is fishy here. Mikaru was feeling restless. Yamato Kisaragi suddenly became strange. What is this? Is this a harbinger or something? Leaving that question behind, we decided to follow Kisaragi. Kisaragi must have gone to see Kurokawa. Kurokawa said that she's going to investigate the 5th floor, so she'll be there. It seems everyone went ahead. I need to hurry too. Can I save? Nope, I still can't save. Guys, did you find Kisaragi? Maeda-kun, that's... What is... There was blood, no matter where we looked at. But wasn't the 5th floor originally with dried blood stains? It was not just me. The blood. It wasn't dry, the blood that had spread and smeared from the beginning. It was warm blood that had just been spilled. This is a lie, right? Maybe that's not it. Well, maybe something else. There are bloodstains running from the lab down to the record room below. This blood wasn't originally from the 5th floor. It's a new blood stain. What are you talking about? Don't run away from reality, you guys. Don't you all know that too? Even if you tremble, there's only one path ahead of us. Someone shed blood from one of us. What else could it possibly be? I can't. It is a phrase you use at a time like this to say that you'll turn your eyes blind. The last execution of Satsuki, the thing I thought would never happen again. A murder happened again. Another person died, and we have to go to the class trial in order to uncover the killer. Don't be ridiculous, damn it! Maeda-kun. First, we need to understand the situation. Teruya, go to the infirmary on the 1st floor, and check if Kinjo is okay. Maeda and Taira follow me to investigate the 5th floor. Yeah, alright. If you look at the blood spots, you'll notice something happened in the laboratory and the record room. So let's take a look at those first. Taira, you go to the lab. Maeda, you follow me to the record room. Okay. Oh, the floor is sticky. A lot of blood seems to be flowing out of the record room. I don't know who the owner of this blood is, but if they spilled this much, Maeda, you might as well be prepared. Damn it. I want to believe that it's not going to happen. We've been asked from Satsuki to deliver hope just past a few days ago. We made a decision. So I thought that no more murders would happen, and I firmly believed it. But that was our mistake. When did the 4 cases that occurred so far come with notice? Murder always comes unexpectedly and suddenly. It was the law. There was no more reason to say that there would be no more murders, and I was being negligent without any basis. I should have known what happened in the end. By the way, Mikaru, come to think of it, I thought we couldn't go into the record room. We need a password. That's true. Perhaps only the Kisaragi Foundation officials know the password. Then the person who organized this crime couldn't even enter the record room, right? The blood could be a forgery. That is a Yamaguchi's case. Then it wasn't Yamaguchi's case, and in reality the incident happened somewhere else? It's unreasonable if you think about it normally. But why don't you reconsider after the fact of chasing after him? You mean Kisaragi? Ah. Yes, Yamato Kisaragi. I don't know if Teruya has checked on Kinjo properly yet. But if Kinjo is safe, there are only 2 people who are not here right now. Kurokawa said she was going to investigate the 5th floor, and Kisaragi who followed after Kurokawa. And since yes, but I don't think it's weird both of them knew the password to the record room. Anyway, it's highly likely that this blood is the blood of one of them. It can't be. Damn it, damn it. What do we do? How can we open this door? Besides that, do you remember what Monokuma said when the 5th floor just opened? If someone is already in the record room, the door won't open even if you put the correct password. If the two of them are stuck in the record room, this is no joke. This is an emergency. Hey Monokuma, come out.
Thank you for nominating me. It's Monokuma-san, who crawls and runs whenever you call. Anytime.
Monokuma, open this door right now. Something big might have happened in there. It's an emergency, so we can use your help in these cases. Moreover, don't you already know what happened anyway?
Well, what happened? Of course I know, but it's a little difficult to comply to Maeda's demands.
Why?
I don't know the password either.
What?
So even I don't know the password.
But my powers don't work at all in the record room.
Meanwhile, no matter how much I try, I can't open this door. It's not that I don't want to open it, it's that I can't open it.
Still, someone may be bleeding and dying in that place. You mean you can't do anything?
Still, the situation right now is quite tense. If a murder has happened and you can't even enter the crime scene, that has become an unspeakable hoax. I'll give you one hint. The door leading to the record room is in fact not the only one door.
Not the only one here?
Maybe there. Mikaro-san seems to have noticed something already. Now that you know, you won't need my help. The sight you will soon see. I'm already looking forward to how much it will drive you into despair.
What, you damned thing.
It seems the finale, it's not so far away. Come on, stay strong.
This Monokuma is just fooling with us. Hey, Maeda, ignore that trash and follow me right now. There might be a way to the records. For real, where are we going? If you come, you'll see. We have to hurry, run. Mikaro, is this the ballroom? Why are we suddenly here? Keep quiet. If my guess is correct. Mikaro, can't you at least explain? This is... in the center of the dance hall, a white cloth hung from the rail at the top. There's someone who climbed upwards. My prediction was correct. I think the door you can see above me is probably the one that leads to the records room. It's kind of a weird design when you have a balcony that you can't actually get to. Except coming out from the records room. And it's a balcony to the ballroom. How did you find out at once? Around the time I was in the ballroom, I kept worrying the more concerned about this. I considered if the upper door was connected to the 5th floor. But after escaping from the ballroom, the 5th floor was open, yet there was no room on the 5th floor that led to this door. Except for the one and only record room that hasn't been investigated yet. That's true, but what is this cloth? What about it? It must mean that someone entered the record room one step ahead of us. For now, let's not worry about the slightest things and check the inside of the records. What are you standing here for? Come on, hurry up. We got no time to waste. Go right in. Inside here. There may be someone bleeding or collapsed on the floor. Maybe already dead. But we still have to prepare ourselves. Because despair must not stop us anymore. This is the record room? Isn't it similar to the ballroom? This is the door. This is the door. The back really goes to the record room. Mikaru? Don't you smell something weird? Do you notice it too? The smell of gunpowder, which you still don't know how it's related to the case yet, and the smell of blood. It was the embodiment of death. This death feeling that was already been experienced 4 times before. Beyond this gate, the aura of death overwhelms us with a terrifyingly powerful force. But we have no other choice but to open it. It's already when someone has disappeared. No more, you can't run away anymore. This reality There's no other choice but to face it. When we opened the door, there was a sealed staircase. I jumped 2 steps up the very short stairs. Within a few seconds, a door with the word emergency exit tag on it appeared. As we opened the door, mechanical gray fluorescent lights greeted us. And at the same time, an incomprehensible sight. Mikako Kurokawa standing with blood all over her body, and the body of the super high school level inventor Yamato Kisaragi, who can no longer breathe, appeared. Kurokawa? What did you do?
A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, the class trial will begin.
Yamato ni Kurokawa, what the hell happened? How the hell did this happen? Kisaragi's death, a bloody Kurokawa. In this chaotic situation, I couldn't even remember how much time had passed afterwards. I only have fragmentary memories of Akane and Teruya running after hearing the announcement of the body and telling them how to enter through the ballroom because they cannot enter through the front door. And now everyone is gathered in the records room, except Kinjo, who lost consciousness. All the survivors of the school of murders we have. Makako-chan. I'll clean up the bloody stuff. Are you okay? That's fine and all, but is that time to say that? I mean, he's dead, Kisaragi. And doesn't that mean the culprit is among us? According to Teruya, he said that there was nothing wrong with Kinjo, but it'll be a miracle if that guy opens his eyes now, meaning only 5 people here can commit the crime. 5. That's the number of people breathing in this spacious building. Among so few people, there's a culprit. But look, Maeda-kun, Matoy-kun, Rei-chan, and me. Didn't the 4 of us have been together since... And me. Didn't the 4 of us have been together? Have the 4 of us not been together since this morning? This is the last time we saw Kisaragi, we were all together. Who was the last person we've met since Kisaragi died over there? And more importantly, Kurokawa was alone at the scene and her body was covered in blood. There's nothing more to see here. We don't even need a class trial, don't you agree? Shut it, Teruya. We don't know until we investigate. As long as we have time, we must. Before the class trial. But, look at reality. No matter who the culprit is, the murder doesn't change. Soon it will be his turn to appear. His turn?
Did you call me? Have you all calmed down? Can I start slowly?
Monokuma?
Yes, you didn't betray my expectations either. I put a lot of effort into this motive. You know, I almost thought, what if the murder doesn't happen? It was a little bitter, but it unfolded just as I hoped, and the endorphins were ejected. Yahoo!
What do you mean good? What the hell do you think about humans, Monokuma? Kisaragi-kun, we didn't meet him for very long, but they were still our classmate like us. I believe it, before we even got a chance to get along properly.
Why are you even mad at me? Why are you even mad at me? I didn't kill him. And friends, you say, such a tearful friendship. Still, everything already happened, right? What you should do now is not shed tears as you mourn your friend's death, but rather uncover the truth of the incident and punish the culprit, right?
The same as always.
That's right, I'll give you the Monokuma file number 5. investigate hard and try our best to clear the class trial.
Again, you mean we have to do it? That terrible trial again? Still, we can't run away. We started now, we can't stop here. That's fine, but something is wrong. Huh? Monokuma, it's you. I thought, like, really? We have to do it again? That horrible panic talk action minigame? Monokuma, it's you. You seem a little different than usual. Doesn't it look like you're rushing something?
Well, really? If Mikaru-san felt that way, maybe that's it, right? Well, who cares what I do, because the fact that a murder happened doesn't change.
Skipping over. But as Monokuma said, there's nothing we can do about it since it's already happened. Let's do this. We don't have the time to stop here. You must not run away. If you guys made up your mind when you left the ballroom, you know it by now. That we will never give in to despair. Ray-chan? How come it's like the first thing we said? Well, it was pretty good though. What has already happened? We can't turn back time. Like everyone said, we can't longer lose to despair anymore. Or we can no longer lose to despair anymore. Unexplained points and uneasiness still hadn't gone away. We decided to fight the despair again in order to win the class trial that was right before our eyes. Kisaragi. His body was at a level that I couldn't even open my eyes to see. His chest was severely damaged, his internal organs were more visible. It's like he was hit by a grenade. In truth, we didn't really know much about him. I wanted to know him, but due to a brain abnormality, it was impossible to have a proper understanding, and the time we were together was absurdly short. Still, according to Mekaru's hypothesis, it's just that we did not remember, and Kisaragi may have been our friend too. And even if he wasn't, it was hard to react so casually to someone's death you've been in touch with so little time. Kisaragi, I wanted to know a little more about you. Come to think of it, the last time we saw Kisaragi at the dining hall, he seemed to have changed for a brief moment. No, the case comes first. Let's put all these questions behind, otherwise we will die. First, as always, let's check the Monokuma file. The victim is Yamamoto Kisaragi. Estimated time of death is approximately 8:30 a.m. Cause of death was due to shock from a laceration. The huge hole in his chest, no other injuries were found. This is the end of it. Of course, the Monokuma file was less informative, but this one is especially bad. Well, let's summarize the information that can be confirmed with only this. The time of death was 8:30 a.m. It was around 15 to 20 minutes when Kisaragi left the dining hall to find Kurokawa. Or 15 to 20 minutes from then. It can be said that there is no contradiction regarding the time. The problem is that someone killed Kisaragi within 10 minutes or so after leaving the dining hall. No, let's not blindly doubt. As Mikaru said, it's never too late to do this at the class trial. And it seems obvious there is a high possibility that there are facts we don't know. Other than this, there was only a brief descriptor written, not even an object believed to be the murder weapon. If we think about this in reverse, the weapon itself might be highly related to the case. Yes, we already know it from experience. Since the time of death itself was a trick, there was a Monokuma file that hid estimated time of death. For now, it is like this. There doesn't to be any incident indications that would make our thinking from left to right. Let's focus on that. Okay. I still can't save. Okay. Box. A bloody card in the corner. This card is something off. So is this something from the lab? Certainly was something we saw on the lab. The fact that this card is so bloody. Was it used to carry a dead body? It is large enough to carry one person, and although it is a bit difficult, it seems that you can climb places such as stairs by lifting the handle. Actually, I was concerned about it a while ago, but there was blood in the hallway of the 5th floor. He found that if they had entered the record room through the ballroom, they could not have shed a drop of blood while carrying the body there. I've always thought it was weird, but it's not impossible if you use this cart. No, I don't know exactly where Kisaragi died yet. If it was hidden after entering the records, then blood might not matter at all. If we look at it that way, the fact that this cart is in the records room itself means that it has climbed the railing of the ballroom? Does that make sense? More and more confusion grows in my mind. Either way, the presence of a cart and blood on it means that it was involved in the case in some way. Let's keep it noted. Kisaragi's dead body. Kisaragi's eyes were open and empty, and he looked like a high school student, no different from us. The handsome face with distinct features was so straight that my brain didn't think it was strange. Well, I can't figure it out just by using the Monokuma file. I'll have to check it out. Kisaragi's body was more severely damaged than the deaths of my friends I've ever seen. It was so cruel that I got goosebumps just looking at it. Like a brutal splatter movie scene. But I can't turn my eyes away. I have to make up my mind and investigate anything we can check. As written in the Monokuma file, the flesh on his chest was completely torn apart. It's so terrifying that I don't know how to describe it. Is that it feels like to be exposed to dynamite or grenade or at very close range. Of course, if that happens, not only the chest but the whole body would fly away. In the case of Kisaragi, the degree of wound in his chest was too large, but the rest of his body was fine. The Monokuma file also said that there was no trauma other than the chest. The problem is, I can't even imagine what method to use in order to create a wound like this. For now, since the ballroom is still open, I can think of it as one of the many weapons in the arsenal. Wouldn't it be impossible to detonate only the chest with such a precision with a bomb? Not to mention the time of the crime is way too short for such meticulous work. Anyway, what is certain is that Kisaragi died from this wound, and no more wounds are found. Let's talk with everyone at the class trial about it. As of now, there seems to be no way to speculate on this abnormality. Chest hole. Kitchen knife is clean. This is the knife Kurokawa was holding when the body was found. Did Kurokawa really, with this knife, to Kisaragi? Why Kurokawa? Before that question, I first felt something odd with this knife. The Monokuma file I read a while ago, clearly it said that there was no other trauma other than the chest hole, right? It was clearly written that way. Besides, just looking at Kisaragi's corpse right in front of me, there were no traces of the use of a knife. And not just the corpse. When I look again, the knife itself was clean without any drop of blood. Then is this it? This knife is simply for a distraction? No, but then why was Kurokawa holding the kitchen knife in the first place? I shouldn't do this. When I start to think like this, I continue to doubt only Kurokawa. Let's not get caught in our prejudices until we go to the trial. Did we already experience this 4 times before in the previous trials? Kurokawa wouldn't have been holding this knife for no reason. Let's make a note of it. Kurokawa. And Mekaru and I found the body. Kurokawa was standing in front of Kisaragi holding a kitchen knife with her whole body, covered in blood as if the murder scene had just been discovered. Since Kurokawa hasn't said a word, what in the world happened? What is the truth? Did Kurokawa commit murder? Yuki? Oh, what is it? The things you want to say, I know it. What? Because I know, don't ask me anything now. As she said that, Kurokawa handed me a small notebook. What is this? Yamato. Kisaragi had a notebook. Eh? Looking through the notebook Kurokawa handed over, I found a page with a number written on it, among countless of blank pages. 0430. I am so disappointed it is not 11037. Kurokawa, this is lean juice pin for this ATM. It types in when he goes to the ATM. Don't ask me anything. But Kurokawa, even when we found the body earlier, please, not now, don't ask me. I know nothing. She's about to face a life-threatening class trial, and she probably at the center of this case, yet she tries to push it back somehow. I couldn't take my heart away from Kurokawa's expression like that. Still, this number that Kurokawa gave me, no matter how much I think about it, if it's related somehow to this incident, then this is the password to the records? Kurokawa seems to have left a great clue. I'll check this password a little more later. For now, let's continue the investigation. Hey, Maeda-kun, I have something to tell you. Akane, did you find out something? No, rather than finding, I'll tell Ray-chan about it later. Do you remember when Ray-chan asked me to go check out the lab? There were pieces of flesh. Pieces of flesh? What are you talking about? I don't know. It was a few the size of a mass of flesh. They're formed in a huge clump. It was so grotesque and bizarre that I almost fainted on the spot. It looks like Zephirum completely missed the 2 fists as the size comparison. I was trembling and tried to calm down and let you all know, but Maeda-kun and Ray-chan were already gone. Wait a moment, bloody flesh. Isn't this related to Kisaragi's death? Yes, I noticed too. The only wounded among us was Kisaragi who died. Yeah, but doesn't that mean Kisaragi-kun died in the lab? I don't know for certain at this point, but at least I'm pretty sure the culprit did something to them in the lab. Kane, thank you. Thanks to you, I got an important clue. It's okay, after all, it's thanks to Ray-chan that told me to go to the lab. Well then, I'll tell the other guys about it too. Still, there are many restrictions in the records, so I was just wondering about the place Kisaragi died. If Kane's words were true, there's the possibility that Kisaragi was also murdered elsewhere and brought to the records. Since Akane informed me, I'll go check the laboratory directly a little later. Is it fine for a moment? No, even if it's not okay, listen up. Huh? Well, it's fine, but why? Have you tried talking with Mikako Kurokawa? Yeah, but she says to not ask her anything. I'll be completely honest, I can't think of anyone other than Kurokawa as the culprit. In this case, if we consider from the perspective of the elimination method. What, wait a minute, wasn't Mikaro the one who said it to investigate since we don't know this yet? As I said, this is only the elimination method. Of course, we have to investigate. But look at this. The victim, Yamato Kisaragi, ran out to find Mikako Kurokawa while we were all together. And after that, we were together until that guy was found dead. It wasn't like this until we arrived at the 5th floor hallway, but something had already happened. Until it happened. Teruya went to see Kinjo, and Taira went to check on the laboratory, right? But they did it after the bloodstains were already there. I asked them, so it would be impossible to break up with us and then commit murder. They'd have to know that you would have asked them to do that. And even before I asked them, the hallway in the 5th floor was already covered in blood, correct? Kinjo? Teruya said that he was safe. It's more like he's been fighting on his own mind than being safe, but I can't see him being involved in this crime. You're right, after all, what Teruya said a while ago is wrong, but nothing is amiss. The only one capable to commit this is Mikako Kurokawa. If you think this far, there are 2 possibilities. One is that the real culprit is Mikako Kurokawa. The second one, others than Mikako Kurokawa overturned all her doubts towards her, and they are laughing behind the whole scheme. Then all of this was planned? Actually, everything seems a little vague. Neither of these have definite conclusions. The incident itself, it's very unusual and abnormal. We still need to do more investigation. For real. However, there's one thing with certainty. Mikako Kurokawa is the only one who doesn't have an alibi. She doesn't have an alibi. Now, does this mean that it is meaningless to consider this case based on an alibi? If anyone other than Kurokawa is the culprit, that means they've been walking alongside us all along and committing the murder. Anyway, let's investigate further. Mikaru, thank you for the information. I didn't really tell you anything worth deserving your thanks, did I? Now the real problem is bigger than you can imagine. Hold your mind steady and investigate. Everyone's alibi. Second floor of the ballroom was connected to the records room. As for the cloth outside, how did the culprit know about this? Well, Mikaru noticed it right away, so it might not be so strange. Maybe because Mikaru is the killer. I'm joking. I'm a grown-up now. I don't do anything rash, it's true. Oh. Cloth was attached to the ceiling so that could go down upstairs. With this cloth, we were able to enter the archives. This cloth has been set already when Mikaru and I, who first checked the records, entered through the ballroom. Then, as expected, the culprit must have installed it. I felt it when I first climbed it, but it was tied really well. Not only that, the texture of this cloth, I think I've noticed it a lot somewhere. Anyway, without this cloth, you can't go in or out of the record, so let's be careful not to break it. First to install this cloth is most likely the culprit. With this alone, this cloth itself could be proof. Let's keep it noted. Wait, he doesn't let me leave? What did I forget? Cart. Oh, I have to do the body itself? I already did the body. Knife. Oh, I have to do the door. Yeah. The entrance to the records. Without entering the ballroom, if you enter normally, this would be a normal passageway leading to the 5th floor hallway. Also, it doesn't even open from the inside. The door to the records is locked with the password, so it seems impossible to open it from the inside or outside if you don't know the password to it. However, Whoa. Accidentally advanced too. In other words, as long as we are here, even if we enter the password, it won't open. Hikaru? I don't know about the others, but you and I know, right? Only one can enter, and if two or more try to enter at the same time, the bulkhead will come down to block this. That's right, yeah, I didn't even told them that when we report on the investigation. Perhaps the places we're standing right now is where the bulkhead is lowered. What then? We should get out of here. What if the wall suddenly comes down and we get hurt? Don't make a fuss over it. Monokuma did the same, right? After all, the second bulkhead will be lowered after entering the password. It's safe now. What's more important now is the structure of this records room. Only you can enter alone, because this fact itself can have a profound effect on the case. Oh, is that so? Should we care much about the door of the entrance of this room? I mean, we all don't know the password, and we can only access it through the ballroom. If it wasn't for the most likely suspected victim, I wouldn't care. What? No big deal. Anyway, it's good to remember the rules of entering the records. 1. Only one person can enter the records. 2. It won't open if someone is already inside. 3. If 2 or more people enter at the same time, the bulkhead comes down. Remember this. You'll have to explain it to the others too. That means you're asking me to explain it. Hikaru, can't you do it? Remember. Okay. Remember 11. We have access to the ballroom, so I thought the records was good with just that. If we listen to Hikaru, it seems the records will be an important place more than I thought. Let's keep it in memory. That's gonna, probably be the linchpin. Not to nail the culprit, but there's gonna be some weird pivot point that's gonna have that in it. I think I've examined everything in regards to the records room. I searched as much as I could, but I found very little, damn it. To begin with, the case itself is somewhat strange. I feel a sense of contradiction within itself. I didn't feel the previous 4 cases to be normal, but I felt something foreign compared to the previous ones. I can't help but to complain. Since Monokuma hasn't made his broadcast yet, there's still time remaining. And there was also something I heard from Akane. There is some flesh piece in the lab. Let's check that with our own eyes. I just get teleported to the lab. It's real like Akane said, bloodiness. It feels wrong. This is the flesh Akane mentioned. As Akane mentioned, a chunk of flesh the size of 2 human fists was rolling around in blood. It was so messed up that I couldn't even tell which part it was, but it looked like a piece of meat before being trimmed at a butcher shop. It's terrible. I stopped thinking right now and just wanted to get out of here, but this chunk of flesh was something to do with it. Has something to do with it, too. I have to investigate as far as I can. The flesh was crushed everywhere, and it was shaken violently as if it had been squeezed with force. There was something like dust on it, and I was wondering what purpose it was for. Come to think of it, bloodstains in the hallway of the 5th floor were seen from the laboratory to the records. Even this chunk of flesh now has bloodstains on the outside of the laboratory. Then the bloodstains of the laboratory might not have flowed from the corpse itself, but from this piece of flesh that had fallen off. Why did the culprit do such a terrible thing? To disguise as if the corpse was moved? But it's too sloppy to do that. In the beginning, the archive where the body was found was too clean for the murder to take place. As I guessed while talking with Akane, Kisaragi may actually have been killed in this laboratory. That thought only grew more. There's something near the mass of flesh. This is what? It looks similar to the smoke grenade used in Haru's incident. A bomb? It can't be. The thing that killed Kisaragi was. Sorry, but that's not it. Mikaru, you were in the lab too? In what time? Hey, I just came and got a report from Tyra about the lab. Isn't that why you're here too? That's true. But what's not it? Mikaru, do you know what this bomb is? Bomb, or rather gas bomb, that's it. Actually, I would say it's an anesthetic gas that temporarily causes paralysis. Anesthetic gas? A kind of nerve gas. It's not harmful to the body. It's a bomb in the form of a gas grenade. So it looks like it was made for military purposes, but the gas itself is also used for medical purposes. I see. How'd you know this? I'm not stupid. It's all written there, isn't it? Even if it's written, it's all in English. Well, I think I'll only get more insults if I say any more than this. Anyway, this anesthetic gas, it was used by the culprit, right? That's right. There are plenty of grenades like this in our arsenal. After disabling Kisaragi with this, did they manipulate the case to fit the trick? But I still can't figure it out. Well, that aside, it's time to go to the trial. Did you find out anything? Well, vaguely. Looking at the state of the flesh, I'm guessing that the bloodstains in the hallway did not spread from the corpse itself, but from this piece of flesh. And you don't know why did they make such a hassle, don't you? Right, something is seriously wrong here. It's not surprise, because I'm the same. Mikaru, what were you looking at inside? I'm just checking to see if there's something that belongs to Yamato Kisaragi. Checking why. Think about it, the bodies of those who have died so far are kept in this laboratory, right? Is there a possibility that it's a piece of flesh cut from there? Wait, Mikaru, did you check the corpses one by one? Fortunately there was no traces of anyone touching it. So it's likely that the piece of flesh belonged to Kisaragi Yamato. Not that, what about our dead friends? What, do you want to sue me for checking a corpse? If we don't find out more about the truth, we ourselves will turn into corpses, won't we? Save it, I don't have the luxury to talk to you, because we are arguing for nothing. I'm not in the mood to get angry. Mikaru's conditioned from a while ago. As of now, you don't know either, right, Mikaru, about this case? No, I think I've got a decisive factor. Seriously, you don't know who's the killer? What I should say is I don't understand. I feel like I just found the answer without knowing the solution. What are you talking about? She used meta logic? I don't know how you're supposed to figure out who the culprit is, but I just know because of meta logic. Look closely at the text, the next of the flesh there. Letters are displayed here. Letters? What is this? Blooding writing, a dying message. Besides, this says Mikako? Mikako Kurokawa, maybe? Isn't this it? Isn't it possible anyone who sees it is pointing at that woman? For reference, I do know how to read katakana. If you were wondering. I don't know how much that matters, but... Because I can't, it doesn't seem like there's actually a puzzle. It just says Mikako to say Mikako. The only thing that seems to be relevant about that message is that it says Mikako. If you had to, turn it around or sideways or something, for it, then knowing how the katakana works might be relevant, but I don't think so. Isn't it possible anyone who sees it is pointing at that woman? Which doesn't make sense as a sentence. Such a decisive clue. Then the culprit is Kurokawa? Well, if you don't think about it normally, that's it. However, something is wrong. All the clues say that Mikako Kurokawa is the culprit. It fits perfectly. There is an unresolved problem to say that the woman is the culprit. Not even this dying message points to a name that is neither a password nor a hint. You don't even need to process it. Common sense dictates if you're the culprit, there's Yuki Maeda written on the scene. Would you leave it alone? I would erase it. It's weird, it's so weird. Even if this is the correct answer, there's not one or two oddities. Damn it, a woman like me to fall for this. Alright, I think the investigation will be over soon, so let's get started, shall we? The fifth one. Let's start the fifth class trial. All gather at the courtroom on the first floor. Hoo-hoo! It's finally starting. Let's go. The trial will be conducted and a decision will be made. There's no choice. I'll do my utmost effort to help as long as I cooperate with you guys. Haha. Well, you will be reassuring enough, right? That will be reassuring enough, right? Yeah, so far I've passed the class trial 4 times. Let's trust everyone. It will definitely work out somehow. To find out the culprit. You were here. Teruya, what's wrong? Wait a minute, I have something to show you. What do you mean? We have to go to the courtroom. It's only about just a minute. You have to go down to the first floor anyway. Just go to the dormitory for a moment. The dormitory, what's going on there? I decided to go down to the dormitory following Teruya, who looked desperately different from usual. Where Teruya took us was... Hey, this is Kurokawa's private room, isn't it? Why in the world are you... Before the why, how comes first. You can't enter someone else's private room. Without a key, how did you get into Mikako Kurokawa's private room? No, I was trying to stop by my room for the last time because I was afraid that might go to the trial in advance. That's when I saw Kurokawa's private room was wide open. The door was open? I excused myself into Kurokawa's room. I came in for a while to find out what was going on. I found something surprising. Come this way. This bed, the sheets are missing. No bed sheets? Only hers. Why only Kurokawa's room? The cloth hanging from the railing of the railing of the ballroom. So that was it. It was this bed sheet? What? Yeah, I noticed it too. Kurokawa's bed sheet was torn and tied up together. Wait, but then why was Kurokawa's sheet used? What else could it be? It's because she's the culprit, and this is not far-fetched. As it has been before. If this is not solid evidence, then what the heck is it? You have not experienced the 5th case of a Danganronpa trial, Teruya. Evidence to be so openly like this is no longer reasoning to be, or being ignorant. This is really... Mikaru? Hey, what are you guys doing? Didn't the announcement told you to gather at the courtroom? Miss Tyra and Miss Kurokawa are waiting for you. Yeah, we've been away for too long. Seriously, I've seen you at this once or twice before, so you think you can be late now? Originally, it's just a calling for quick execution. Maya, Teruya, let's go to the courtroom. We can't avoid a class trial. Oh, okay. Now, we finally got everyone together. A little late, but let's get started right away. As always, please take the elevator down. And, for reference, Kinjo-kun is alive, but he's unconscious, so I gave him a special break. For this trial, the number of people will be small, so let's work hard. 5 people, including me. It's necessary to uncover the truth of the case with such a small number of people. Maeda-kun, what in the world were you doing to be so late? Otori-kun and Rei-chan, too. Sorry, I was taking them somewhere. Really? I was so worried. I thought something happened because Mikako-chan doesn't say anything. Well, we're not dead anyway, right? Let's go down. Everyone is ready, right? Ahead of the outcome. This might be the last class trial. Why the last one? Why? Because common sense. There's already 5. Except for Kinjo, I can't see any hopeless people. So when this class trial is over, there will be only 4 people left. If the number of people is reduced up to that point, there will be no murders or trials. The fewer the people, the more difficult it is to act. It does make sense, but that goes for when we pass this trial safely, right? Yes, of the 5 of us, there's a culprit, even for the others who have died so far. It cannot end here. That's all we need to know. Let's begin then, the final climax event. It may be the last class trial. Mikaru's last comment, who wasn't sure if it was filled with certainty, overlapped with the number of remaining survivors. It dug deeper into my chest. I also have to make up my own mind. Overcoming a life-threatening class trial, this school, no, to escape this building, to survive safely and to see my family again, to find out the truth. Laboratory meat. Anesthetic gas. Kisaragi's dying message. Kurokawa's room. This case, I don't like it. Whether it's a trick or no evidence or a culprit. I won't be scared of withdrawing anymore because we can't end here without knowing anything. Culprit who killed Kisaragi must be identified. The culprit, it's already out here. It'll be okay. We won't die here. Everyone, are you ready? Let's go! A silence so heavy that crushes us lingers in the elevator. Not only was it the tension that the class trial was about to begin, but it was also due to the insufficient number of people. Kinjo is still alive, but frankly there's not much hope. No, just being alive is still a hopeful thinking. Makaru said that it was highly likely that this will be the last class trial. I really wish it was, but due to the nature of the class trials, 1 out of 5 people will never be able to go back up to this elevator again. Still, we have no other choice but to do it. Maeda-kun, did you say something? Nothing, just talking to myself. I'm just talking to myself. Yeah, we have to do it. Since the very first time Maki was murdered, this has been repeated over and over again. We have no choice, there's none. The elevator stopped with a heavy sound and we stepped into the class trial for the 5th time, craving for hope to survive. Yeah, you're finally here. I thought I was going to die from the exhaustion of waiting. Why does the atmosphere in this courtroom seem to be getting more colorful? Ah, Otori-kun. You have eyes to look, I see. This time I designed it with a special care. Doesn't it make your eyes glow? Ew. Wow, now the number of people is small, so why not start early? As always, please go to your selected seats. Even though there are only 5 people here, the fewer the number, the more interesting the case. Will the Blackens succeed in escaping this time? Will hope win again? Let's get started! And so it begins, the 5th class trial. The 5th crossroad of death. The victim in this case, Kisaragi. There was also the Kisaragi Foundation that used to exist, but his existence itself was the #1 suspect on the candidate to be the mastermind. That was weird, but I was thinking differently about Kisaragi. His brain was weird, he couldn't communicate well, but no matter how you looked at him, he didn't look like a villain. If we had talked a little more, we might have known more about him. To think he would end up like this. After Kisaragi's appearance, Kurokawa's condition became strange to anyone looking at it. In the end, she emerged as the most likely candidate to be the culprit, and everyone became suspicious of her. Whatever the truth is, even if I don't want to know, soon it will be revealed. No, it must be revealed. Our resolves will cross each other again, and the trial shall begin. A deadly discussion, a deadly lie, a deadly betrayal, a deadly explanation, a deadly excuse, a deadly trust. Deadly class trial. I can save. And I'll just stop here. Zephyrum's translation went to a new low there. But he tends to do better in the trials than he does in the daily and deadly life. His deadly and deadly life tends to be just awful. The trials tend to be kind of decent. But we'll do the trial next, I guess. But I have like a squeeze right here. I gotta stop, so I can't really comment much. I just gotta stop. So I'll stop. Thanks for watching. If you watched.